All right, guys, welcome to NiiceTalk podcast. Today we are talking with one of my, I guess, longtime friends, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, it's been a while since we've actually hung out too.
Definitely.
A long time. Anyways, today we have Eddie Lowery, and we're going to be discussing so many different types of things today. So if you're interested in anything from bodybuilding to military to growing up in difficult times to violence to love to everything. So it's going to be a great podcast. Please be sure to stay and listen. Give it a shot, give it a chance, and we will be starting here right now. So what's up, man?
Let's dive on. Let's go off the deepest, darkest hole.
Let's do it.
Deepest, darkest well we can find.
Let's just start with probably the more I would say the darkest stuff is the best.
Okay.
That way, when it gets
darkest stuff.
That way, you know how a story always starts with like maybe it starts usually kind of dark and then it has a happy ending.
Absolutely.
Let's get to that part.
Oh, that's my favorite part. All right. Well, I think one of the more darker parts of my life that I try to be very open with the difficult things that happen in my life because there might be a chance that it can help somebody else. One of the darkest parts for me has to be one of the saddest, but also most reassuring moments of my entire life. Mm-hmm. And that was when I was deployed, and I lost my father when we weren't very far from headed back to land. That was a very difficult part for me, but thankfully I had my amazing superstar, now wife, but at the time a girlfriend. She kind of helped me out. It all started how any day starts. You wake up, do your little morning routine thing before you start your normal day of work in the United States Navy, the best Navy that the world has, bar none.
Yep.
Because we have the best military as well. Yes, we do. Just going to say that out there. And I went throughout my day and I went to check my email. I had like 5 minutes before we were supposed to muster up and get all ready for work. And I had received an email from my girlfriend at the time saying, and it started off, "Babe, I'm so sorry." And I was like, "Oh, great. What happened now?"
That's always how the mindset goes. When you get that, "I'm sorry," it's either something happened to you or me or
my PlayStation.
Or your PlayStation.
I didn't forget about that, Jackson.
Hey.
He's 8. He just turned 9 and he broke my PlayStation. Oh, man. It was just probably
that the little bodybuilder guy who lifts the weights sometimes at home?
Yes. Yeah. Nice. That little troublemaker. So, but I received the email and I started to read it, and I didn't cry at first when I heard the news. He had been found in his apartment after not talking to anybody for a while, and he was basically in a state of a coma. He had kind of let go of all the bodily fluids in his body, basically lost control of his body at that point. So he was going through terminal leukemia, and he was given 3 days by the doctor to live. And I think it was a very interesting thing for a woman so young as my girlfriend at the time to be selfless and go to and talk to me, because I didn't get any. She asked me, "What do I need to do? How can we get you here so we can deal with this?" Because this is my dad. It's not anybody else's dad.
This was the time that he was still alive and had 3 days. So that's the news. The email that you got was like, "Hey, I'm sorry this is happening, but there's possibly 3 days left. How could you get here?" That's where we're at. Okay, I just want to make sure and clarify.
And I got I had to tell her, just send an American Red Cross message, which is the only way that you can, take emergency leave and leave the ship. However, they were doing it. They were doing flight operations, so they were flying people off of the ship, like people that were retiring, people were transferring duty stations, and
because you guys are far out in the water.
Yeah.
Oh, that's far.
It was pretty far.
how far off were you?
It's tough to say. It was
roughly, if you had to guess.
This is back a few years ago. I would say
20 miles, 50 miles,
like 500, maybe 500, maybe 5. We weren't like crazy out there where the ocean is literally like 40-foot swells and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it wasn't anything like that. It was just not too far off the coast. I really can't dial in how many, maybe 250 nautical miles would be my perfect
Right.
average guess.
Because it depends.
Yeah.
There's no like, makes sense.
I'm not sure. I wasn't on the bridge at the time. I didn't stand watch at the time. I was doing a lot of different, maintenance and stuff to fix. We were getting ready for a couple of big deployments, and we had to get all of our stuff ready. And I got tasked with the upkeep of all of our nautical things, like bringing on bombs to our ship, deploying boats. I had to make sure all of it was up to par, and if it wasn't, that was my ass. So that's where I really did not sure how far out we were out, but they were definitely allowed to fly off the top.
Yeah,
with I think it was the Greyhounds flying off the top. But I received the message, and at that point, like, it really kind of kind of deep low in my heart that this is really happening. Yeah, the person that you don't have a relationship with, out of your frustration, and because we were in horrible terms at the time, is about to die, and you didn't fix that, and he's in a coma. You're never going to probably speak to him again, and that's where it really kind of sunk into me, and I got this, and in the worst times, you usually learn the best lessons. So it really hit me like a ton of bricks. You're never going to be able to fix your problem that you had with this person. Was it really worth all this time that you have an issue with another human being who is related to you, who wants to be around you, who might not do the best job as a father, but did his dad? And like all these questions start popping. Right. Is this a generational thing?
Like, is it his fault?
Is it his fault?
Right.
And I understand that I did make the right decision now in hindsight of not being around him, but there's still love there, Right. And it really hit me like a ton of bricks that day. This is happening. You're never going to see him again. You let your anger get the best of you. And it took me a long time to let go of that guilt and realize that love for another human being is important beyond frustration sometimes. Even though they might be the worst person in the world, you still can't spend your time hating them, right? Because it just drains you, man. And my girlfriend, now my amazing superstar wife, stayed at the hospital with him for 72 hours and didn't go home. She didn't leave to shower or eat anything. And
you weren't there yet. You were still.
She held his hand.
Oh wow!
For 3 days, and then I got given permission to use an emergency phone to call home, and she said the nurse needed to talk to me, and I said okay. We'll put the nurse on. I said, you're the next of kin, so you need to let me know if you want to pull the plug or not. She used a bunch of big words that I'm not smart enough to know. You're just like, but
it's this or that.
Yeah, I was like either there's no reason. His life was pretty much lost at that point. There was no comeback. There was no coming back
whatsoever. No matter what kind of money it took.
Absolutely not. He was not cognitive. There was no bringing him back. He was dead. He was.
So just how much longer do you want to?
It's like how much more do you want this person, the human being that cares about you, it's your father, to suffer through the worst thing that could possibly happen to anybody, which is cancer. Right. Your body just dying and eroding away.
Yeah.
Toxicity, And she held his hand for 3 freaking days. 3 days.
That's crazy. Like she took off work and everything and just sat there.
Just held his hand. And I told the nurse, yes, go ahead and, you have permission to pull the plug. And nurse was crying on the phone, and I was like, started to tear up because I felt like a zombie inside, dude. I don't know what that dark feeling you have.
Yeah.
Of, I hate this person, but I love this person.
Yeah.
I feel bad about it, and I want to fix it, but I can't fix it, and it's too late. And I'm immature for hating this person when I didn't have to. And should I have hated? All these things run through your mind. And what really helped me focus was something my grandfather told me when I was a child. He said, even when you have an enemy in life, or someone that's the opposition, I know in the hood they call it ops or whatever in this day and age, but if you have someone that you don't agree with, right, that doesn't mean that you need to specifically hate them,
right?
And you can not want to be around them, and that's great. It's great to not be around bad people, but you don't need to hate them because it'll consume you, and you'll always be left with regrets,
right?
Whether you didn't take action or you didn't say something that you wanted to say. And I did have that guilt for I would say up until 6 months ago. And
so it's for a while.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Wow.
It's like 20 boy, I think it was 20. I literally tried not to remember. So
for sure. I mean, you don't even have to if you don't want to. It's
2013 2013. And we were doing. I remember it was. Yeah, the end. It was the end of October, start of November, and he, we pulled the plug, and he died. And my wife is such a selfless person, because when we finally hit land, and I got walked off the ship first, and had a lot of people saying rude things to me leaving the ship first, because only the new dads are supposed to leave first, and I got some derogatory stuff said to me, like, why the fuck does he get to leave first? And
because the guy was having a kid, so
yeah, he was saying some shit to me, and then like I had a leader of mine there, and basically told him to shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
and he put his hand on my shoulder before I left the ship to go to the plane to fly home. He said, I want you to forgive yourself, because I'd talked to him in confidence,
Right.
and cried a lot, and he told me I needed to forgive myself, because when you hate somebody else, it really, you lose a part of yourself. And I needed to forgive myself.
Yeah. It could bring out a lot that isn't you, but is you deep down on a place that you don't want to like bring out. Because usually when I have hate for someone, or I have like some sort of negative, toxic kind of feeling towards like a certain person, it brings out like an ugly part of me.
Yeah, it's
You know what I mean?
scary.
So I could relate to that in that level, but not probably as much as
it's just a different scenario, man.
For sure.
There's levels to life that a lot of us really don't honestly want to go and find.
Right.
I don't want to feel that
I'm
again.
good.
I don't want to feel that again, ever. But I was so thankful, and that's where I'm coming around with this, is I was so thankful for her, because when I got off the plane, I had nothing but the same exact unwavering support. Where I went and saw his body, and before we had him cremated, she held me.
Yeah.
And she put her arm on my shoulder, and I was just completely overwhelmed with an empty feeling that I'd never felt before, which was guilt. Normally, I'm very self-disciplined. I will punish myself in my mind by saying I did a horrible job before anybody else can punish me. I don't want anyone to own my mind in that way or shape, or form at all. But it was very difficult for me to process that, and she supported me, and I was so thankful for that, and it made the most significant difference between, because a lot of people I know, they wouldn't have been able to go through that alone, including myself, and I had someone there for me, and so I was so thankful at the same time, and that was it, man. I was like, this person really held his hand there for 3 days.
Yeah.
This is the person I want to be with. Somebody like
not everyone would do that, No matter what kind of supermodel you're with, or what kind of hard-working, good, bad person that you're with, that's not something too normal. Like, I mean, I would hope that my girlfriend would do the same thing, for me, which I'm assuming that she would, because I would do it for her.
Yeah.
But you just never know, like, with someone that you're with, like, because they don't have to. That's not their job.
The obligation whatsoever.
That's not their, I mean, it's their family, but it's not, you know what I mean? So it's not their responsibility. So the fact that she stayed for 3 solid days, now she probably went home and came back or whatever a couple times.
I'm not,
if did or if did not,
sure
I don't even know. It doesn't matter. She's still there.
I tried to ask her, but I really can't even sum up the thought.
Well, she was there. I mean, even if it was from 1 to 5 p.m., whatever.
Yeah, if
she took time out of her day to go there. So that's just like a huge applause for her
and
for even doing that.
She kept the fake family members. My favorite part about it is she kept the fake family members away. The people that showed up, oh, he's done. Let me say, whoa. Oh, did he have a will? Like, oh no, my wife physically removed these people. Yeah, physically removed some people. Yeah, out of that room, and I that's an amazing woman who can do some of that, because if I was
those damn wills,
reversed, man. Yeah, the fucking will. But if the roles were reversed, I would have done the same thing. And
for sure,
she's definitely a resilient woman for being able to withstand that emotional travesty. And to be very brave,
for sure,
because her father had died in I think it was just past. It was within a very similar situation.
Really, that's before or after that?
I can't pin exactly what year. I try not to remember these.
Right. For sure.
And I try to make the days that we have remember.
Right.
Not out of like disrespect or anything, but it's kind of hard for me to remember days that really are sad to me, because I go
don't even worry about the days,
and I try not to worry about them, man.
Yeah, I mean,
but
I think the biggest thing is you learned something from this. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You were able to come out with some sort of positivity.
Yes.
with a maybe a greater mindset. Nothing that's like, now it probably took some time to heal, of course, which it does for all of us.
Yeah, especially when you ignore it.
Yeah, but out of it, you were able to come out with a stronger mindset and maybe have more. I'm trying to think of the word exactly, but now when you meet people, it's like with love, and now you're not going to regret anything.
Nothing.
Now you're just like, when you meet someone, I mean, think about this. We've kept somewhat of a relationship for over 10 plus years now.
Yeah. You got great energy, brother.
Yeah. It's probably just shared energy, but now when you meet new people, especially through doing the Iron Man stuff, which we'll talk about later, it's just all like, you're doing great. You look great. It's never like, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Well, I mean, for competition wise, it is like that, of course. Like, hey, I'm going to do better than him.
Sometimes.
But
it depends.
a real personal level now, I feel like, now probably not everyone, because everyone's human. So we all have our mistakes.
Flaws, yeah.
But most of the time, now your mindset when you meet someone is probably for the better. And you're just like, I want good for you. I want this.
I have just more love to give because I let go of, guilt is something that you can choose to have in your life. And I don't mean to say this lightly. It's not an easy decision to say, oh, I'm not going to be ashamed of what I've done. You can be ashamed of what you did and not be guilty, because I've accepted my flaws and I decided every day to be better, which is a spiritual journey that took me 4 years of isolation on the opposite side of where I'm from.
Yeah.
To learn, like, to be around strangers, you have to learn about who you are.
Exactly.
But I meet everybody with love and empathy and compassion, and when you're on the other side of that line of love and compassion, I don't have anything for you other than get the fuck away from me. And it's because it's not good for me. It's not good for my family to be around people that are bad, and I'm not gonna hold back what I have to say if they're a bad person, if they're a good person, they're gonna get every ounce of love I have to give, because they might not have that. Right. Because I didn't have it. I didn't understand what it's like to be completely selfless and hold somebody's hand for 3 days while their dad, like your boyfriend's dad is dying.
Yeah.
And you're in a hospital. Just after losing your dad similarly, and you're reliving this horrible thing that you went through at the age of 10. That is the most selfless act this world has ever. I've never seen something selfless. If I was a billionaire and gave every ounce of my money to get every homeless vet off the street, that might be close to what she did. I don't know if I could personally, at that age, at her age, at her level, go through that emotional travesty again that I still haven't even learned how to deal with. Because when you're a child and you lose a parent, you don't learn how to deal with that, because your other parent is still struggling too. Yeah. So it was completely selfless, and I was blown away. Damn. That was my moment of darkness. Yeah. But of the best possible outcome that I learned, and all these lessons just come flying at me out of nowhere every day. Right. And I'm just so thankful for it.
That's awesome, dude. And we'll definitely move forward, because I don't want to touch up too much on dark past. It's just interesting to know, because we've known each other for a while, but I didn't know too much of anything. I just heard what happened, and then that's about it.
Yeah. I mean, my mom's a very talkative woman. She likes to share stuff, and she's also very outward thinking. She's selfless. So you probably heard pretty close to what happened.
I actually didn't. Oh. I really didn't. Okay. Not even from my dad, and my dad and your mom are good friends too. And he just, I remember when I asked him, I was like, oh, what happened? He goes, I don't really know. He goes, either he knows and he doesn't want to tell me. Okay. Or I just wasn't listening. I don't know. Yeah, man. I mean, he told me a while ago, so he probably told me everything, but my brain.
Your dad's a great guy. He probably trying to respect my privacy and all that good stuff.
Yeah, and he has, my dad's also, he has his flaws, Yes, he sure does. But at the same time, it's like, when you really think about him, I mean, this is one thing that I'm very thankful for, like my dad, that I try to acknowledge as much as I can too, is, I don't know how this relates at all to this conversation, but just a little shout out to my dad is, he's one of those guys that's like controversial, Yeah. But when it comes down to it, he will give every single dollar in his pocket for somebody. He will help anybody. He will do whatever it takes to make someone happy over himself.
I think you can only get there with a person like your dad, and I say this with the utmost respect because he's an amazing human being, not just a father. He's a great human being, and you just you touched on that a little bit. You only like really get to that point of giving and loving other people and sharing the things you have with other people for no reason at all, except when you've done things that you want to be better from. You've done a bad thing, now you want to be better. And that is the sign of a great man who's learned from his mistakes and he's trying to leave his mark on the world in a positive way. So I love you, Jay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yep. Shout out.
Yeah.
But let's fast forward to you finish up the Navy after that. How many? I don't know how many more years. You were in for 4 total?
I did 4 years active, and on the 25th of this month, I'm having the most celebrated drink of my life because I'm going to be completely discharged from the United States Navy.
Really?
I'm in the inactive reserve right now. It's called the IRR, Inactive Ready Reserve, where you sign up for an 8-year contract, so you can do like 6 and 2 or 4 and 4.
Right.
Depending on what your platform is.
Is that like reserves? So like you still go like 2 times a month or something like that?
That would be just the regular reserve.
Oh, okay.
I'm on the inactive reserve. So I don't show up. I don't get any benefits. I don't get anything. But if they need you. If 9/11 happened again,
right.
I would hope that they would recall me.
Right.
So I don't have to go and do all the paperwork again.
Yeah. All the tests and everything.
They would probably tell me, yeah, you're a little too
So on the 26th, you said?
The 25th of this month.
25th. So you got 11 days.
11 days till I'm free.
So Earth, don't do anything for 11 days, all right?
I just need peace. That's all I need. Peace and love.
Let's just get through this,
Absolutely.
That's crazy. Let's get into the physical bodybuilding stuff. Is that what you want to talk about next? You want to talk about that next? Or you want to talk about something else?
Let's rock right into it, dude.
All right. So here, let me check the time real quick. Sorry about that. So with that, what age did you really get interested? Because of course, in the military, you work out. You wake up at 4:30 a.m. and you do your PT.
Depending on what branch you're in, the United States Navy is not too good about the making sure that fat doesn't get attached to your body.
Really?
Because you're on an aircraft carrier. There's not much room to run around a track, and a lot of peacetime brings a lot of relaxed mentalities, and that's why I'm so antsy all the time. I feel, because I'm not the kind of relaxed person. I like the consistency. I like the discipline. I like the go.
Yep.
And fitness is huge in my life. The Navy has been doing a better job of fitness, but they're relaxing standards, and I don't personally agree with relaxing standards. Standards are there, and once you set a bar, you need to try to either surpass it or maintain it at least, and that's how you get better in life.
Can I tell you about a bar that I passed?
Yeah,
that was the standard. Dude. So you already know I went to the military school thing. I sent myself during high school.
You did?
You didn't know that?
No, please tell me.
Have you ever heard of? Well, I want to get to the bodybuilding stuff, but this is interesting too. So my junior year ended.
Yeah.
And I had maybe 12 credits.
I saw a lot of pain in your eyes in high school, man. It made me my heart hurt.
I had a lot. I had a lot going on, and I found out through this thing called Washington Youth Academy. It's in Bellingham. No. Bremerton, yeah. Bremerton.
Navy base down there.
Yep. And there's I saw like a thing, and then my friend had a paper that he was already going, right? He didn't make it. Yeah. I'm not going to say his name because I'd feel horrible, but he didn't make it because he didn't have the mindset to be there. He wasn't ready for that kind of discipline.
Hey,
he's one of the...
A lot of people can't cut it. That's what selection is for in the Special Forces.
Yeah.
It's essential to weed out people who are not ready to do what needs to be done sometimes.
And that's what it's for, because with this 6 months that I was away, 5 months actually, I got 6 whole credits.
Yeah.
Now, how I set the bar, though, was when I showed up, me growing up, I moved every 6 months or so, maybe every 3 months, whatever. It was so normal to me to adapt to new environments. Going to this military school thing, I had a for sure home for 5 months, so that's a win. I get food 3 times a day. That's a win. I'm surrounded by people because I love being around people. That's a win. And I get 6 credits so I could regain my stuff back over summer. So when I get back into my year, I could graduate on time, which I didn't. But I've always loved physical anything, right? I've breakdanced since 2005.
Yeah, you're great at it.
And I've done all of that stuff, and I've loved just physical energy in some sense, right? So they had PT tests. And I'm the type to show off.
Oh, okay.
I'm the type to be like, you want to do push-ups? Let's do some push-ups. So their record was like, I think 140 something in a row. Like, you don't stop. Once you stop, you're done.
Yeah.
It's like one. Like if you're up longer than a second, like a solid, like once you push up 1, 2, like once it hits 2, you're done. You can't go. You have to keep going. So I got myself in some trouble before our big PT test. One of the big we had like a whole bunch, but this was just one of them. I think it was our last one. We only had 3. I got myself in trouble, not on purpose. I think I kicked the kid. And usually if you kick a kid, you get sent home and you don't get your credits. You get nothing.
You kick him on purpose?
I mean, yeah.
You don't have to tell me.
No, I already got my credit, so fuck that.
Yeah.
But the kid, I remember he just always bothered me. The dude looked like Voldemort, and he always pissed me off.
Voldemort? Oh, my. With a nose all flesh?
Everything. Forehead. Everything. Dude came by. He stepped over me, dude. Right?
So he was
hey, excuse me.
trying to mess with you.
It was like some dominance move or something.
That's not appropriate.
He stepped over me. I was reading a book because we're in our bunks. And you could sit on the ground between the bunks. Steps over me. And then I was like, what the fuck? Kicked his leg.
Yeah.
Probably could have broke his ankle by then. Anyways,
Did he eat
he told
shit?
on me. No, he just stumbled. It wasn't like a big kick. It was just a little tap. I was just like,
it's a warning shot.
It was literally
That was
like
definitely
a
a warning
little
shot.
jab. It was like, don't fucking walk over me. It was bad. I shouldn't have done it. I was immature. I could have just told him, hey, don't do that, and then tell a guy. But anyways, fast forward. I get in trouble. Now I have to carry my house on my back. Have you ever heard that term in the military? You carry everything you own or brought to the military in that giant sack. So I had all my clothes, my sheets, my cot, everything. My latrine bag, is that what it's called? Latrine bag or something like that?
Dude.
I had that in my backpack. So I had to carry that to school. I had to carry that during PT stuff, everything. To me, it's a win.
That's a win.
I'm doing
so much
push-ups.
stronger. Like,
I'm
come
doing
on
push-ups
now.
with 60 pounds on my back. I'm doing sprints with 60 pounds on my back. If anything, I'm overtraining compared to these buffoons, right? Yeah. And, oh, man. I was at a point where I was running 5-minute miles. And then when it came to the push-up test, this is the bar, right? 140 something or 150. I forget. No, actually, it was like a 120. It was very low. It was like a little over 100. I'm doing the test. All right, start. And I think I was Group B. There's 2 groups.
Did you still have the house on your back?
No.
Big mistake.
Exactly.
Big mistake.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm training for fucking war.
Yeah.
Anyways, I get down to the push-ups, and it's my turn. And there's some kids who do some shitty push-ups. They're doing these.
Oh, yeah.
Little jerks.
Little ankle jerkers, yeah.
Theirs counted still, but I still outdid them with full chest to ground push-ups. Towards the last little bit, I was doing kind of more like 90-degree push-ups, but that's still illegal. That's normal.
Yeah, you hit the bar.
Anyways, let's just say the first 100, I touched my chest.
Yeah.
The next 50,
Jesus
I'm doing 90.
Christ.
The next 60, I'm doing 90.
No fucking way.
I did 210 push-ups.
That has to be an achievement for your whole life to be shared.
For me, it was. And what it did was set dominance. It set, like, I'll never give up. My arms were purple.
Yeah, you're going to be in trouble after that. Yeah.
But I felt good. I couldn't do a push-up for another couple hours. They still made me because I was still in trouble. I had to still put my backpack on, right? But whenever there's a challenge like that in front of me, whenever there's something that someone says I can't do, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do good. And I'm going to win, or I'm going to come close to it, or I'm going to learn from it and win next time. Which brings me to my next topic, Iron Man.
Yes, sir.
You know how many people...
I was going to say, I challenge you to give me $500 right now. I bet you won't.
Yeah, well, I don't have that.
It's okay. It's okay. You don't.
But with that being said, I'll tell a little bit about my experience with Iron Man because you have a greater experience, of course.
It's just different.
And
it's all different.
So your mindset, you train like 365 days a year for this competition and further. You don't stop when it comes to it. You keep going, even during this pandemic.
Yes, sir.
I was supposed to train 3 months prior to October 5th for Ironman.
12-week prep. That's pretty solid. Yeah.
Supposed to, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm already somewhat slim. I don't got a whole lot to lose. In Ironman, you don't have to get too big. You just got to look decent, right?
Yeah, you just got to get lean.
But if you want to look bigger too, you get a little bit extra, pat on your back because you look fucking jacked.
Yeah.
So I ended up wanting to do it. But I just go to the gym. I didn't have a meal prep. I didn't have anything like that. We're 30 days away from the show. And I still look normal. I'm supposed to look somewhat bigger.
I think you going to the gym, I just want to stop you right there, man.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry about that.
No worries.
You looked phenomenal. Just
Oh, yeah.
just lifting weights makes you an amazing person, because there's so many people out there to let their body, their mind, and everything go to shit. And I don't look down on them.
Yeah.
Because I don't agree with bullying or looking down on people.
Right.
But they're just not. They're like, I'm talking about in a Greek god. If I had a Greek god and I had a walrus, you looked very similar to the Greek god side of the spectrum, right?
Damn.
So I think it's important for everybody to achieve the best version of themselves, and that means spiritually, emotionally, financially, mentally, in a relationship, or if they're in a relationship with multiple partners, whatever they
believe
makes them
in.
happy, whatever makes them happy, they should do their best at it. And you looked great, and I don't think you should ever talk down about it ever fucking again. So
I won't. So let me just make this clear. I think I look great too.
Yeah,
I think I look fucking sick. I've never looked like that in my life.
It's
ever.
solid. You look great.
I've never.
You looked happy too.
But let me get to this real quick. 30 days prior, I was like, I need something. Because if I don't work hard right now, and I had dreams, I had nightmares, walking on stage with no abs. If I walk on stage with no abs, which I've seen this done at Emerald Cup, and I was very confused why the fuck someone's going up there. Now it's a confidence booster. Good job. I praise them for that mindset. But I did not want to be that guy.
You don't want to show up and expect to do good and then look like shit,
So
in comparison. I
was living with Min at the time, the one who does legendary physique stuff.
Great
Awesome
man.
guy. But I hit him up too late. He lives with me. I could have easily asked him earlier. I could have asked him to help me prep. He's like, Chris, there's not a whole lot I could do, to be completely honest, but here's where we could start. Here's a diet. You have 30 days until you step on stage. You weigh 174 pounds right now. For you to look good, you got to weigh down to maybe 150. Good luck. Which was, it's harsh. It sounds harsh, but it's tough love.
Should have hit me up.
Exactly.
No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
So,
No.
No. So anyways, I could have looked a lot better if I were to see him 3 months prior and actually take it serious and pay the amount of money that it takes to learn that kind of stuff, because nothing's free, right? Yeah. And depends on who you're talking to. But anyways, with that being said, I was able to wake up. Now, I did miss my cardio mornings a lot, right?
It's not easy to make a huge transition, man.
It's not.
It takes time.
Especially when I'm not a morning person at all. Anyways, 2 weeks go by. The fuck's going on in my body? There's nothing happening. I have 2 weeks until Ironman, and I still weigh 170 pounds. I lost 4 pounds. That's just water weight because I didn't eat too much carbs the other day. Yeah. I'm pissed. I wasted $400 just to go to Ironman, and I'm not going to get a trophy. I was pissed. Now, knowing that they give everyone trophies in the novice, whatever it's called, it's okay.
They do?
Well,
I thought it was top 5.
I think 6, because I got 6 out of 6.
Yeah, the rest of those guys didn't even make it on stage. You got a trophy. They didn't.
Exactly. So that's what I think about. Now I have 2 weeks until the event, and then I started getting the gym harder. I was like, I'm gonna hit more abs, 500 abs in one session. That's it. Then chest, then legs, then cardio, then back. Back was my strongest point. Back was like my strongest part of my body at all. Like I could pull the amount of weight that keeps up with like Anthony Lopez now.
Oh yeah.
Now I can't deadlift, but the pull machine, I'm good. I could fucking pull the whole bar.
Hey man, everybody has a different level that they're working at, and it's okay.
Exactly. And it's now 3 days before the show. I mirror check myself, and I have a 6-pack. Actually, I had an 8-pack.
Damn right.
My genetics are amazing for that. I don't know if I get that from my dad or my mom. Probably my dad. Not so much now, but when he was younger. And I was able to get on stage. He's still strong, by the way. Yeah. He could still probably knock out half.
Probably keep a distance from Jay's reach.
Yeah.
And then some.
Well, it's not too far. You know, it's the short little arms.
Close the distance. He's fast.
Oh, yeah. He's quick. I've seen him. I've seen him pretty much almost kill someone before, and it's not a good sight. Yeah, I've never seen him like that.
I try to stay away from people that are big and move fast. You got to stay away, like a Mack truck that's faster.
But anyways, I step on stage, and there's some people there giving great support. Then some other people there, and there's some other people there being little dickheads. But I'm not going to mention that.
I remember their names. Okay, you know what? It's okay. Those people.
Yeah.
Every time you're doing a good thing, there's always going to be some little bitch
for sure
in the background who wishes ill on you. And it's not your fault. And you shouldn't feel frustrated about it. Jealousy is the ugliest trait that any human being could ever portray.
Oh,
and you
for
look
sure.
great, man. And you know what?
I really appreciate that.
Those haters out there, I wish I could say they're not haters, but it is. They're hating on you for doing something that makes you happy.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
They can't take away your shine. They're just little bitches, man. It is what it is. I hate to be vulgar.
Are we talking about the same person? I just don't want to say the name out of respect.
Okay, is he about 5'2"?
I don't know if he's 5'2".
Okay, I don't want to hurt his little feelings because he's probably going to challenge me to a fight. Now I always accept challenges to fights.
Here, how about this? We're gonna put this on mute, and then we will think.
Dude, fuck that guy. Okay. I'll tell you what, dude. This is the same person.
Name. Out of respect,
okay. Out of respect, I'm not gonna say his name. This is a narcissistic person who has very, very much tried to harm other people's businesses, other people's images, and he'll say things to you that are very, very rude and negative, and he doesn't understand the legitimacy of fighting words. Right. So he made comments recently to a good, very good friend of me, very good friend of mine, and he'll say some stuff like, "Oh, well, go fuck yourself," or "I'll like fuck you and your mom," or he'll say something very, very mean. I'm just making these up as examples. I'm not gonna say what he actually said because it sounds embarrassing. I don't want to hurt his feelings
for sure.
But he said some hurtful things, and you don't understand like. If you're in a place where someone else is benefiting financially from it, and you say something like that to somebody, you're embarrassing yourself. You look unprofessional. If you're not in a place where they're making money, you're gonna get drugged across the floor by your face.
Right.
And I don't mean this in a threatening manner. I'm very, very serious because if I say the wrong thing to somebody else in a disrespectful way, and I'm not willing to fight and potentially get hit in the head the wrong way and die, what type of man would I be? So. If you say bad things, you might get bad things done to you. Yeah. And I don't think that it's very good to have negativity towards you. Is not fair. I don't like him. I don't like the person, but I don't wish ill on him. But
for sure,
I wish that he wouldn't say something stupid because I told him before, don't say something stupid because you're going to get knocked the fuck out by somebody who's not as nice as me. Yeah. And I gave him the benefit of the doubt, and you know what he did? Did the same shit to my other friends. So I'm gonna say a prayer for him tonight because I'm a God-fearing human being. Yep. But fuck that guy.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I've never even really been friends with this person, by the way.
Yeah, but you've never been enemies.
I've always been so nice.
Yeah.
And
it's just embarrassing.
I'm the type to be very supportive, no matter if you're better than me or not. I will be vulnerable and I will be like, wow, you look amazing. Because he did. Yeah. Looked fucking great. But when I was trying to, I was trying to think, I'm like, is it like a mindset thing? Like maybe they're in the zone or something. But I was like, it's not a fight. You don't have to get in the zone. And I was coming up to him like, oh, hey man, how's it going? You look good. I'm so glad you're doing this. And you're just like,
that's so, man, I'm so sorry. I was like, dude, I'm sorry for him because he was my teammate at the time. Yeah. And I think it's wrong that I wish you would have told me because I would have corrected it. You don't look down or be rude to people in the bodybuilding industry. I know what? The competition is done during the cardio sessions, during the weight training sessions, every time you eat your grains of rice and your food.
I mean, you're the competition, not you, but I'm saying like yourself. Like,
well, I am the competition, but
you are because you did win.
I'm just joking. You did win. I'm not like that at all. Yeah. I'll never be serious about that. But your competition is done before you show. When you show up, all that goes out the window. What are you getting ready to play football against this person? No. Are you going to go in octagon and try to assault this person really
Not
bad?
one bit.
No, not one bit. So why would you be rude to somebody else backstage? Does that make you feel more confident? It's belittling
Exactly.
people. It's pathetic, and you know what? Honestly, it's small dick energy, and I don't fuck with that shit. So
Yeah,
I'm sorry for him how he treated you.
yeah,
And it's
but
pathetic.
it motivated me.
Good.
So now, well, I mean, Iron Man, I don't think it's happening this year at all. I don't think I haven't heard
Ooh,
anything.
It just might be because Idaho Cup is coming up, or the Idaho show is coming up, so it might be open. They might be doing it this year. I'll reach out. I'll reach out and let
Let me know. I just need 3 months.
I'll reach out to the people. We just got to get to work ASAP, Rocky, because every second that you spend doing it is a
You
positive.
see my
moment.
kettlebell out there? I just bought a 53-pound kettlebell because for times that I can't go to the gym, I'm in here working on the stuff that I need to work on, such as like my legs and even shoulders. So
Yeah.
I'm still working out. I'm still pretty strong now. I can still do the
man.
amount. So we're solid there. Back into talking about Iron Man. We had, some ups and down conversation about it, but overall Iron Man is a great event and I cannot wait to compete in it again. But let's get to this part. Eddie, who is sitting with me right now, last year.
Yeah, it was last year. It's like forever ago, huh?
I know. I was like, wait,
Feel
was it 2 years? Just kidding.
It was last year.
But he actually was able to take first. Was that overall?
Yeah, I took first overall.
Woo! Let's talk about that. What preparation did it take? And I know you've been training for years and years and whatever and so on and so
a couple
forth.
years, like I think 2.5 at the time where I took overall.
But let's talk about the time that you actually dedicated for this Ironman event. Because I think I remember seeing on like a post of yours, you were talking about, I'm getting ready I'm like 100 weeks out.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just
That's
like,
my joke. It's my little joke.
I'm just like 100 weeks. The thing's in like 4 months. Yeah. But anyways, let's talk about your preparation. I mean, of course, there's some stuff we won't talk about for preparation because we don't want to let your secrets go.
Oh, no. I'm here to help anybody be better. And I'm gonna air it all out, man.
Yeah,
dude. There's a lot to learn out there, and I'm a humble student in this game of fitness.
Yep.
In life and bodybuilding, and I'd love to learn more. And if somebody else just wants to know more, they can always reach out to me, or through you or whatever, man. Because some people don't like to talk to people directly, but I'm a person you can call in the middle of the night and I'll answer and I'll talk to you.
Oh, for sure.
But it was very, very easy for me to prep for a show for a long period of time because I build a momentum quickly. And if you ever remember X-Men when they're talking about the Juggernaut, he's like, once he gets momentum, he's not going to get stopped. That's how I kind of try to do everything in my life. I like to build momentum and keep going with it until I'm very proficient, and then I stop and then I find something else. I don't like having all my eggs in one basket, which is why my newest venture is having to take a little bit of some time off here and there. Yeah. But I spend most of my time training in this. I don't have a show picked out yet, but lo and behold, when me and my coach Brian Click, will pick our spot. But for Ironman, it was very, very easy. I was already trying to grow. I was eating so much bulking food, and I think I put on like 20 pounds in that bulk. Bulking is so easy to me. You just eat so much food, but it's the same food until it changes. So a lot of people, I think they make a mistake. They eat the same amount of food every day and expect them to keep growing. You have to change it up. You have to try different methods. You have to increase your calorie surplus. You have to make sure you're drinking 1.5 gallons of water every single day to push these nutrients to your muscles when you're training. And you have to really break down the muscle. You can't go in there for a regular workout, regular calisthenic workout, and show up to stage and compete at any bodybuilding show in this day and age. When it started out, when the men's physique first started out, you could probably get by on some fucking calisthenics. These day and age, you got to be deadlifting. You have to build your body. You have to build your back. You have to make sure that you have your diet on point all the way through the show. The last 3 days are so fragile about, how much carbs you take in. Are you cutting water properly and safely? Are you spending time in the sun or not? Are you resting a lot? Is your feet up? Are you sleeping cold to pee out all the water the days before your show? There's a lot of things.
You have to sleep cold?
I'm gonna.
Let's get to it. Okay, yeah.
I'll go into
Later
detail.
on.
Yes. I sleep cold. I freeze my body literally outside. I'll sit outside in my underwear.
Oh my.
Right before I go to bed. I do everything I can to get every single ounce of water out of my body for a show.
You're a madman.
Well,
let's get to it though. Let's get to it. We'll get to this part later. So anyways, the preparation.
So the preparation. First thing I would say, you gotta start building the body. There's a lot of people out there that don't have a lot of money. And so getting a coach for the whole prep might not be the best option for them. And that's why I always preach, anyone that's out there doing free diet plans, you have to choose a good one. And I know a couple of reliable ones in this area, one of which is Total Nutrition, Linwood. They will write you a free diet plan if you walk in there and step on their InBody scale. They'll write you a diet plan.
And I'm wearing their shirt right now, so they are trusted.
Yes, they are trusted. It's
actually dope.
Yeah, man.
I love Total Nutrition. Sorry, I almost stuttered, but they give great deals too, man.
Yeah, they get. If you drop my name, they'll give you 27% off.
Eddie Lowery. Remember that? Eddie Lowery at Linwood Total Nutrition.
I wish I could say I'm just one of their sponsored athletes, but I really do believe in them. They helped me with my transformation when I didn't know what to do. They gave me the free diet plan, and every 2 weeks I showed up to check in, and they said, okay, well, we're going to adjust this. We're going to add this. Have you tried this supplement? We're not going to sell it to you. We want to know if you want to try this pre-workout, and I want you to take a free sample, and I want you to come back and tell me if you like it. That's what they do there. They literally set you up for success, and I've known these guys for years now. This whole organization of Total Nutrition, these are amazing people. The owner's a great guy, Jeremy. I love you, brother. And you know, the people that work there, they actually care about your goals instead of just trying to sell you. They don't make a boosted commission like some of these big companies. I'm not going to name any. GNC. They get certain commissions based off of what product they push on you, even if it doesn't help you with your goals.
Yeah.
Why would you want to do that? You're ruining people's dreams. And
I mean, how big is that commission? Is it worth it?
$4 for a tub versus the regular $3 for the regular tub. You know,
I mean, commissions. I felt like commission's almost pointless at that point. Why not just pay the employees a certain amount, and then commission's meant for like house sales, car sales.
You're gonna have to talk to the bums over there at GNC. They're pushing these things. Not that I.
By the way, guys, this is Eddie speaking. This is Chris speaking.
This is just me speaking.
I don't mind shopping in GNC because I'm not a bodybuilder to that level, but it does make sense, and I don't agree with having commission at GNC. I think that is pathetic because it's not really worth it.
I mean, maybe some of them operate differently, but the GNC that I went to
for sure,
here in beautiful Linwood, Washington,
definitely.
My friend used to manage there, and he told me he left there because they're told to push this product even though it doesn't work, and I don't agree with that.
No,
maybe
if it works, it works.
Don't
if
know
not,
about it, but I don't know if the owners. That's corporate nonsense at that point.
Yeah,
that's people with numbers and on their. On this stuff.
That's definitely insane. So I'll probably still shop there, but I hate the fact that they have commission. That makes no sense.
I just don't agree with what that store did. It's not all GNC. It's all GNCs, but it's that GNC that I went to here in Linwood, Washington.
Right.
I don't agree with them, and their manager was quite rude to me too.
Oh, what?
So I really don't like that. But they took good care of me.
Yeah.
Wrote me a free diet plan, and they got me started. My wife was amazing enough to go to Total Nutrition, and for my Valentine's Day present back in 2017, she gave me my start of my fitness journey for Valentine's Day.
Really?
She bought me a gym membership. I was in a deep dark place coming out of the military. A lot of veterans.
Eddie Lowery has pictures, and he posts it a lot, and I love seeing it. But he always has a picture of his when he first started. And these pictures are very important because you never really know where you're at until you get better. And you look back, even right now, he's not like crazy jacked right now. He's at a really good size, but it's not like show ready, I guess I would say, right?
Absolutely.
But it's like his walk around weight, and he looks 100 times better than he does in that photo. In the photo, he looked like he was like
depressed,
just very out of it. Like he looked like he was starving himself, and it did not look good. Yeah. But anyways, continue. Sorry.
That is true, man. I did not look good. I was in a bad place.
Yeah.
But you know, that leads me to my thing again about how amazing people can step in at the right time in your life and help you when you need it.
Yeah.
And she set me on the path with Total Nutrition Linwood. I walked in there. I was like, hey, my wife got me some supplements. She said, you guys do free diet plans. Boom, free diet plan. And that was it. Okay?
That's crazy.
Every single day, lifting weights. And I prepped and I did a show. And I won first in 3 categories. I won second in the overall. And they told me to come back bigger. I did a very short prep, not a very good long one.
Right.
It's pretty short prep. And they said, yeah, come back when you're a little bit bigger, and I want you to work on these certain things. I want you to do this and this and this, and I want you to get your diet under control, because my dieting was off, and I'm not going to explain why out of respect for certain people. But I reassigned. This was not because of Total Nutrition. This was because of a different entity that I'm not going to name out of respect for them, because we squashed our shit.
Yep.
But I moved on to a different, a group, a different team, the Clickway team, and that's why I linked up for my last show. And between them and Total Nutrition, making sure my supplements were on par, them telling me if they didn't have the supplements in the store at Total Nutrition, they told me where to go. I went across the street to Sprouts to get some things, make sure my diet was complete, because you need basic supplements to keep you healthy, to make your body function when you're eating strict food that's not going to help every part of your body function well. You're not eating to be healthy. You're eating to look a certain way and to fit a certain category and to be the best in that category at your leanest. You want to peel back all the fat, peel back the water, load them up on the carbs, make sure that muscle looks real full, put them on stage with a fucking spray tan, and whoever gets the first place gets the first place.
Yep.
And the judges, they're very non-biased. They do a good job of being to the nitty and the gritty.
I spoke to them afterwards, and I told them, what can I fix?
They're great people.
And they were so honest. I mean, I kind of knew I had to fix, but they were like, yeah, well, your lower back was kind of fat, and they didn't say fat, but they said, you could use some work there, and blah, 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 blah. So yeah, I definitely agree. They're very non-biased. I mean, at least from my viewpoint, I saw them very fair.
Yes,
like they didn't have like a favorite.
It's not about who you
and
are.
And a lot of these shows, they do have favorites, by the way. A lot of these shows, there are some judges that are just, picking their
little shining star.
Their shining star.
There may definitely be some biased standards. There may be some very, very unfair things, and it hurts a lot of people, because you show up because if your coach causes a rift, and it's why it's important to choose a good coach. If your coach causes a rift with the judges and the judges don't like them, you just lost first place.
Oh man,
to Jimmy No Shoes or to anybody, right?
That sucks.
and that's why I try to separate myself from everything. I try to separate myself with the level that I apply my dieting to. Like I will, if I'm dieting, I don't go on dates with my wife.
Right, because you're gonna want that side. You're gonna want a bite of her food.
I don't even want the food.
Well, that's what I'm saying though, is that if you
don't want to go out, I don't want to be in that environment. And she understands. Like, well, we make do. She is a very tolerant woman, bless her soul, and she makes a lot of sacrifices as far as our relationship goes when it comes time for the nitty and the gritty prep. And I will not sway from my diet. If my coach tells me, "Hey, bro, go out back with your wife, have a glass of red wine," you're way ahead of schedule. You need to just go. As long as you eat your meals for today, but go and get out back. I'll do that. But after I bulk and I go move into my cut, we are down to the fine tooth, nitty and gritty. Like all my food is weighed exactly.
Right.
The whole prep, even before I start cutting, everything is counted. Everything's accounted for. There's not a grain of rice out of place. Everything is perfect. My water intake is perfect. I don't drink even Diet Coke. I don't touch it. I don't drink anything.
I don't drink soda. Water. Period.
Yeah, well, we shouldn't, because if you want to look good on stage, you don't want to have fructose corn syrup and things like that, and the fake stuff in there, and it's not good. But you bulk up, you get big, you get very muscular.
Yeah.
And then I would say get a coach, time to cut down and do it safely, do it securely, and make sure that your coach is altering your diet actively. As you change, your food requirements change, or the body's going to not react anymore. It's like a scientific experiment. If I have everything controlled, the diet, I have you controlled, if I have your training controlled, if I have your water taking controlled, right? And I play with the diet, everything else is in control. So I'm going to have the same reaction as my last client who was on a prep. Only thing that needs to change is you and your weight compared to my weight. So if you and me were working with my amazing coach Brian Click, look him up, the Click Way on Instagram.
There we go.
If you did that right, he would have a different diet plan for you than me, and you'd be like, "Well, why is yours different than mine?" Because it's supposed to be. And there's a lot of coaches out there, false prophets, giving copy and paste shit online. And I received that copy and paste shit. I follow an amazing, who I thought was amazing bodybuilder online in a different state, and I sent him the money for the diet plan, and you know what I got? Some copy and paste bullshit.
Damn.
So I started trying to learn and affect other people in a positive way so it doesn't happen to me again. I don't want that to happen to anyone in my sight again.
And quick thing on that too with the copy and paste stuff. Do you think it's good for people who aren't going into competition, who are just trying to get their bodies to a certain level? Or do you think in general it should always be customized because you don't know how this person's body reacts to carbs? You don't know how this person's body reacts to certain proteins, maybe certain beefs or salmon. I have no idea.
Mm-hmm. Some people have blood issues, like even. So that's a very good question. And I would say that there's multiple ways to skin a cat.
Right.
But the best way is with a knife.
Cat?
I just brought that
I know.
up.
I'm just thinking.
Dude, I know there's this really hot.
I don't have any cats, so we're solid here, okay?
Yeah, there's no cats in here. No, okay. So there's
right.
How do I say this? There's many ways to. There's not a lot of ways to fillet a fish. I'm sorry. I'm looking for another analogy.
For sure.
More,
I think we understand.
There's more than one way to cut the lawn. You don't have to go with the same heights. You don't have to. You can do things different way.
Right.
You know. So there's a different approach for a different coach. Every coach is different. I have nothing but respect for anybody that's involved in the fitness industry because they're trying to help people, and it's amazing and it's special to do that, to make someone's dreams come true. Looking in the mirror and liking what you see. Like I've had days where I've cried looking at myself saying, wow, I look like something I'd be proud of. Like if I was a more egotistical person, I'd be like at the beach flexing in front of people. Like, nah, I can't do it, man. I just can't. I'm not like that. And
I do it as a joke, but it's like 1 to 2
joke,
people. But I can't just go out there. Even when I did look really good. By the way, the next day pump, guys, is amazing.
Next day pump.
Oh my god.
Go to the gym. I had to take 3 days off from the gym.
You were pretty bad.
I'll get into the cut.
You'll get into it.
I'll tell you about the cut and
yeah. Let's just finish off with the whole prep and then we'll move forward.
Yeah, but the pump, man.
That
pump. Yeah. So when you start going to the different dieting approaches and stuff like that, there's many different ways to do it. To my understanding, the best way that I perceive it and other people perceive it, when they're working with people at the elite level, versus the regular level, there's a lot of different ways to get to the best shape of your life. The best way is the one that is tried and true. And I can say what's tried and true. There's a couple different ones.
Yeah.
If you're just trying to lose weight, it's much different than if you're trying to build muscle and lose weight at the same time. That's very counterintuitive, naturally, because everyone says, "Oh, when you're bulking, you can put on a bunch of fat, and you're leaning out. You got to stay cut. You got to spit in water to lose weight. You're not there to lose weight. You're there to lose fat." Two different things, right? If you're making weight, it's very different. But your dietitian, your coach, your diet manager has to be on par at that point. If you have a level of coach or a coach who's at a level that's not fully matured to what they say, and they say they're great, and then they try to sell you a product that, if I sell you an iPhone that doesn't even turn on, they're gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people out there that get that feeling, they get that emotion that they're not happy with their product because the coach uses the same approach. You have to understand that everybody is different. Everybody is different, and every body is different. Those two huge things.
Yeah.
So like you and me are very different.
Very different.
Our bodies are different.
Yeah.
What we would need might be similar, but it's still probably going to be different.
Like your carb load might be different than my carb load.
Absolutely.
Your protein intake will be different than my protein intake.
Yeah.
The amount of grams
season,
per day.
I'm eating like 11, if not more, cups of rice.
11 cups
per my 6 meals. That's a shitty number. I eat a ridiculous amount some days, and some days my carbs drop super low, and we add another meal for a whole month, and then we pull that meal away, and then we say, Eddie, you don't get carbs for a whole fucking month, or just a certain number that I'm not going to name, 45 grams of carbs for a whole month, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You don't need carbs just to survive.
Right.
You need your fats to be maintained. You need your protein to be maintained. You need to play around with the carb because that's a controlled variable that you can use to make people get bigger or get smaller as far as their musculature, as far as their fat on their body. You can make people bigger and better. But there's a difference between a good carb and a bad carb, and it's whether it's going to turn you into a fat fuck or a fit fuck. Okay,
I like that.
You like that? I heard that on YouTube last night.
So what's 2 good carbs that you would recommend?
Ooh, sweet potato and rice. White rice. Oh, I love white rice so much. Jasmine is my shit.
What about people that say brown rice?
It depends on what you're looking for.
Because isn't brown rice more dry?
I am not sure if it's more dry. I think it's just how much water you add to it. But it has a different purpose. Every single thing that you can put in your body makes your body operate differently. Like putting good gas in a Ferrari versus in an 87 Honda, or different things, or a diesel versus regular gas. And that's where it comes into play. Is everybody has different things, bulking, cutting, different. Would you rather have black beans or a sweet potato? Well, sweet potato is a clean carb, and it tastes great, and you can put some cinnamon on it, and it's amazing, right? And you put some stevia, and wow, you just made a dessert to curb your cravings for dieting. Everything has a purpose, right? So when I bring in the rice, I will cover it in cinnamon and stevia.
Cinnamon and stevia.
Cinnamon and stevia.
Stevia is like sugar, right?
It's a plant-based sweetener. It's very natural. I love it. It's the most natural thing you can get that I to my understanding. Wow. I may be wrong. If I'm wrong, please critique me and yell at me, because I'd love to know. I love learning.
I mean, it's probably in general, but that's dope.
Yeah, stevia and cinnamon. You put that, you mix it in a little shaker, right?
Yeah,
like a salt shaker.
Yeah,
you pour it all over the rice with a little bit of water, and you heat it up for like 4 minutes.
Wow,
so it's like steaming the rice again while you cover it in there. Oh, and then you mix it up. It's like a cinnamon rice crispy treat deluxe.
Dang.
Yeah,
I'll have to try that.
Dieting is easy when you're smart about it. Like my coach Brian is a mad scientist when it comes to changing the body. He'll pull this and add this and add this and pull that. There's so many different ways to make you lean, and going from like 12% body fat to 2.9, or excuse me, to 3.9 is not hard. I was only 3.9% body fat for that show.
3?
After pulling water, yeah.
Wow.
And the last month of cutting is very difficult.
Yeah.
If you can't stick to it, because your body's like, listen.
Yeah.
I know that normally you'd want to have sex, but all you need to focus on is the nearest gas station and the nearest candy bar. Okay, your body goes into starvation mode for these things that it's not given, because we're, as Americans, we're not a healthy society. 43% of any adult over the age of 40 is morbidly and dangerously obese and in risk of having health concerns. And a lot of people don't even know that. So when you take your body to the other extreme of removing all that fat, that's still not necessarily healthy.
Right.
So you have to be careful. You have to be careful about your sauna time coming up to a show. You have to be careful about how you pull water, because if you get a horrible migraine, and if you pass out driving, because I have a friend very dear friend of mine, passed out driving and almost lost his life.
Oh my
within
God.
the last week of the show. So I usually travel places with people. The last week of the show, I take time off of work so I don't injure somebody on a job site.
Right.
Everybody's life's important. Everyone's life is important, and I don't want to risk that. So there's a lot of controlling factors that you put into play in your last week of prep. But a lot of people don't think the way I think.
Right.
I'm the if you had a scale of, I don't want to use a bad analogy. I'm not going to say, usually I say Gandhi and a Nazi.
You can make whatever analogy you want to make that makes sense to you.
As I'm very, very diligent and strict and disciplined when it comes to my prep, because if I control everything, there's nothing left that's out of my control except for what the judges say.
You have nothing else to blame.
If I show up my absolute best,
right?
How can I be upset about my placement?
Exactly.
There's a lot of people that I saw at Ironman, and to be honest, it's a very small show. It's a natural show. People aren't going to be using steroids and stuff. I mean, some do. Some show up like that, like idiots. But that's not really appropriate.
Do they get tested?
Well, yeah. To my understanding,
I saw random testing, and I didn't get tested.
There was random testing. I mean,
is it when you win you get tested?
No.
So someone could slip by completely through the system.
I think that they test you randomly before.
Yeah, because that's what it was when we got our bags and tanned.
Yeah, they're not bulletproof.
Right.
As the I think it's the WNBF. I know a guy named Zach Belknap. He's an amazing all natural bodybuilder. Never has touched anything, SARMs, steroids, anything like that.
Yeah.
And he's also a vegan bodybuilder. And he participates in that, and he won his pro card in that venue, and it's completely natural. Lifetime, never touched any of these substances. Lifetime stuff. Not in the last 5 years. Lifetime. So that is the only bulletproof way of testing I know of. And it's very expensive, but they do it.
Yeah.
And I think that's good.
But
I'm not here to judge other people. If you want to show up to a competition and you do everything within your ability to compete, who's to say that, you're better or not better, is what I should really say. Who's to say that you're not as good because you put a substance in your body? People put substances in their body. Neither is pizza's not a good substance to put in your body.
No.
But I still smell it and I still love it, right? So
Yeah, right.
I'm just giving you a comparison.
That makes sense.
It's in society we're pitched, like, you remember Marysville Middle School, that
Marysville Mental Society, baby.
white hair teacher used to tell us steroids are the worst thing. They'll do all these things to you
As he's on steroids. Just kidding.
Well, maybe, but in all reality, these are substances that they're passing out at doctors, and in our modern day, you can actually go through a sex change and just say you want to identify or be what you feel comfortable as in your own skin, which would be a girl or a boy when you're born, a girl or a boy. There's a lot of different instances, but you can get prescribed testosterone.
Right.
If I was a 13-year-old and getting injected with testosterone, I'm not sure, I'm not a doctor, so forgive me.
Right.
But if if a 13-year-old can ask to feel more comfortable in their skin and being injected with a substance, what is the difference between that and a 40-year-old or a 30-year-old
Right.
asking to feel more comfortable in their skin because their shit doesn't work anymore,
Right.
or the testosterone levels are off, or they just haven't been prescribed an estrogen blocker,
Right.
which is a serious thing. When you need an estrogen blocker instead of testosterone, or the vice versa. What's prescribed? What's stopping these guys from getting it just because they want to feel comfortable in their body? They want to feel sexy again. A lot of guys have a lot of mental health issues that are undealt with, just like our women do, and it's important that we meet that.
It is.
Seriousness aside, could you do juice and show up at a competition? I really can't say. I've never tried.
Yeah.
And I don't think I ever will.
Right.
If it's a natural competition, I think it's more respectable.
I think that's where people
natural.
get upset. It's almost like if there's like a natural, it's almost like this for breakdancing, right? Let's just keep it very simple and that everyone can probably understand, or a dance competition in general. Beginners only, right? Let's just say that.
If B-boy physics shows up, I'm gonna be pissed.
I'm just saying, if there's a beginners only show, and beginner just means it's just your first year or two, right? Which means you're just not as experienced.
But amateur, just trying to get into it.
But then someone shows up who's been winning World Cups because they have that little bit of extraness to it. That's the only part I don't find fair. That's why I thought a couple people at Ironman were on something, because I was just like, that's not fair. Come on, man. Like, I freaking tried for 30 days. Let me.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
There are some.
But it's not that bad. It's not like, I think if you still have to do the work, I don't see it as a big deal.
Well, if you're doing, so let me just try to gain some perspective. I definitely recommend that you watch a movie called Enhanced. It's about steroid trials and things like that.
Is that on Netflix?
On bodies. It's on.
I saw something on Netflix that had to do with steroids.
It's on Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay. I have that too.
A lot of stuff you find about steroids is going to be very subjective to people who are trying to, get money off of stocks they have in supplement industries, which is what steroids kind of pulls
Really?
apart what they do.
Wow.
Not that I know anything about how economics work or anything.
Right.
But you should definitely watch it because it's very enlightening about the reality.
It's called Enhanced?
Of Enhanced and Enhanced 2. It's by Generation Iron. It's about a human being doing trials of steroids and SARMs and things like that on the human bodies of bodybuilders, of natural people who never touched steroids
Is that
before.
when the Rich Piana's in?
No, that would be Generation Iron. I'll show you the link later, brother.
Yeah, sure, man.
And you'll check it out in your free time, and you'll be so surprised.
I have Amazon Prime, so I can watch that.
Oh yeah, I'll just take the name of it. Yeah, I got the same thing. I love it.
Yeah.
But I don't agree with using a platform that's meant to be natural,
right,
in an unnatural way. I just don't. And it's about being fair. It's about being honest. And if you wanna compete at a high level with people doing high level things, they're gonna bring everything they can to win. So if you're not willing to do that, good on you. Will you beat some of them? I know one natural IFBB pro. One.
I think I know what you're talking about. Filipino guy?
I'm not sure who.
Never mind.
Who you're talking about? There might be a different person.
There's another guy I knew. It's not bodybuilding. It was men's physique, I think, or casual. Never mind.
Yeah, I know.
I was thinking of Mark or something like that. Wasn't it Mark?
Yeah, Mark's not. He's a great dude. I know him. Yeah,
he's freaking. crazy jacked.
Well, yeah. Well, you know,
He's been training though for a long time.
He's got a nice physique, man. Definitely. Yeah, I saw him the other day in the gym. Yeah, he looks great.
Yeah,
definitely. I think that the I know one black athlete, and he's all natty, and this man looks phenomenal.
Is he from here?
No, he's not anywhere near here.
Oh, okay, never mind.
But I follow him on Instagram, and he's great. Like,
what's his name?
I don't want to put it out there because he's under a lot of speculation.
Okay.
From it, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of controversy. I don't want to.
We'll just say it off air then.
Yeah, I'll probably tell you off air. But he got his pro card natural, and I think that's great.
Awesome.
You know, I think that's great. But I'm not here to look down on anybody about what they do with their body. This is America. In our country, you have freedom to do whatever you want with your body, as long as it doesn't harm anybody else's civil liberties. And that is my true belief.
Yep.
And I stand by it. You know, and yeah, that's about as far as that goes. But me personally, I did not take any, illegal substances for that platform because I don't agree with it, with doing illegal things on a platform with a competition. It's supposed to be a natty competition. Show up natty, big dog. Okay.
Exactly.
Show up natty.
Exactly. That's all you got to do.
But there are SARMs.
I mean,
there are SARMs. There's a lot of things out there. There's SARMs.
What's SARMs?
SARM is a selective androgen receptor modulator. It is a substance that is under high scrutiny throughout the...
Is it safer than steroids?
I would say, depending on who makes it and who supplies it.
Makes it?
Because it's a created thing, like in a lab. You create it like in a pill. Like it's made like as a supplement would be made.
Like, can you buy these ingredients? Like
you can buy them
over counter.
You can buy them from
and then put them together and make SARMs.
I'm not absolutely sure about that. I've never tried. That's a good question. Maybe I should check it out, but I don't want to get flagged by the feds. If you're listening, I'm innocent until proven guilty in the court of law, of course. But you can definitely check out things like that on websites, and just being straight up, SARMs are considered a healthy, quote unquote, alternative. I'm not a doctor.
Right.
I can't tell you what the
because your body, just like a diet, will react differently than someone else's body.
Well, yeah. Well, that, and I'm also not a doctor doing lab regulated tests supported by the federal government, because nothing can be allowed without the federal government stamp. Like weed was illegal until they could find out they can make taxes off it. So,
and now they're happy.
Now they're making money. They're happy, and
they're happy.
There's the weed drug dealers on the streets are not balling out no more. So it's very interesting how that works.
Yeah, it is
very interesting. But when I just don't personally agree with showing up.
I have a friend who is giant naturally.
Yeah,
and it's for sure natural because I know he's a really good friend of mine.
Yeah, he
was thinking about trying steroids to get even bigger.
I think you should have him talk to me, because I would actually war against it, because a lot of people think it's the steroids. I don't think he'll
actually do it.
It's the food, bro. You're not eating enough. If you're not growing, if I was on my 600-pound life and I kept eating, what's going to happen?
You're gonna keep getting bigger.
Keep getting bigger, right? So why would anything be different for someone who is lean? Like you and me, we just have faster metabolism, so we don't. We're not corn-fed. Like no one would look at me and say, "Oh, that's a corn-fed motherfucker right there." No, not really, not really. I'm very lean, and I don't have much fat on my body. I'm cold a lot of the time, and I have to eat a lot versus someone who has to eat very little.
Right.
And fat to fit to fat, it's all the same.
Right.
I think it's all great transformations. I would have your friend reach out to me, and I'd like to sit down and talk with him, because there's alternatives to, one, going down the avenue of incriminating himself by trying to track down these things when the drug task force is alive and well in our area. And two, just using things that might not be needed. Introduce it when you need it, or if you want to do it. Like it all depends. I recommend having him talk to me. I'd like to talk with him and make sure that's something he really wants to do. Not that it's a bad thing. It just might not be what he needs to get to his goals. He might
personally don't think
he needs a free diet plan from Total Nutrition. Who knows?
He probably does. I mean, I don't think he really needs it. I think he's just interested. It's just like
it's a taboo kind of thing.
By the way, anyone who bodybuilds, they all think they're small.
Yeah.
I don't think there's one bodybuilder that's like, oh, I'm happy where I'm at. They always want to be bigger, I think.
I think I can completely agree with that. I feel
now, not 100% of the people, but I feel like a good majority of the people, they want to be bigger and bigger and bigger. They're not. It's just like money. Like millionaire. Oh, I want to make 10 million. Oh, I make 100 million. Oh, I want to make a billion. You know what I mean? There's never an end point for it. So that's why you should always be careful when you bodybuild. And if you do want to try it, stuff, try your food diet first. That's
Yeah.
what you're saying, right? Try
Yes.
the diet first.
I would
Then
say grow first through the right way, because you can.
how long does it take real quick?
I'm gonna be super blunt. If you're a person who's horribly out of shape, right?
Right.
Horribly out of shape, and you're not dieting right already, and you're plump, and you have cellulite in your body, and have man nipples, right? I'm just giving you an example, like man nipples or whatever. Like you have fat in places that the man body is not meant it because we're made to, hunt woolly mammoth, run 40 miles a day or whatever.
Right.
And you take steroids. What do you think is going to happen? The people that are taking steroids and dieting perfectly are elite. They are dieting. They eat the same food every day, and when they cheat on their diet, it's within their little coordination restriction. There's a reason they look that good. It's not because of whatever they're putting in their body. That might give them an edge, might make them look better, but the key component is always going to be your diet. If you have a shitty foundation on your house, it's going to not last as long as a better foundation built home. You have to have good quality ingredients, good quality food in your body. And it's not just protein shakes. You have to eat the food. Protein shakes are good to be supplemented. They're to supplement to add into things. If I'm having an issue eating one day and I'm sick, like stomach sick or sick at work, I can drink a protein shake and I might not be able to eat chicken because my throat's raw. I've been there. It sucks.
Throat's raw?
Yes, from eating so much food.
Really?
It sucks, yeah. Well,
that could happen?
A couple days out from a show when you're not allowed to drink very much water, your throat gets kind of raw.
Oh.
And then like I've ate dry protein powder.
Oh.
But in preps and on other days where if I'm just sick, I don't like to. Have you ever noticed when you're sick you don't like to eat food?
Yeah, you just want to like maybe drink.
You just want to like maybe drink something
like soup maybe.
Protein shake, bro. You're good.
Oh
Drink 6 of them when you're sick. Sick, and eat your rice if you can, or just bread. Just try to eat something. I'm not gonna say don't do steroids, but I'm gonna say try
normal stuff first.
Things that make sense first.
Right.
If anyone educated about fitness will tell you, eat food. Food is what makes your body operate. If you don't have logs of wood on a fire or any burnable substance, okay, come after me, trolls. If you don't have any substance to burn on the fire, it's gonna die out. Okay, same with your body, bro.
Yeah.
A lot of people in America are on the starvation diet. They don't eat enough, and that's why I eat so much food. Even up to my show day, I never stopped eating a lot of food. I ate a lot of food. I might have had a lot of carbs. I might have had a ridiculous amount the last 3 days of my show. I didn't eat any pancakes. I didn't eat any Doritos or sweets backstage to help. I didn't drink any wine backstage to help me to chill my nerves.
Do you think that actually helps? Because they said wine is for like drying out your body.
Depends on who you ask. I think vodka is the best for drying out your body.
Really?
Yes.
Just straight vodka?
Straight vodka.
No ice?
No.
Just vodka?
Shot of vodka.
Now, is that to help dry or is that to help nerves?
I made a big mistake, and I had whiskey my first show. Right? First ever show, they told me you bring whiskey.
I feel like whiskey never brings anything good to anybody.
But I took a mouthful of, they told me, right before you go on stage, take a shot of something, right? I was choking on my food. I grabbed the wrong bottle, and I filled my whole mouth with whiskey. I shit you not, in 30 seconds when I walked on stage, I was drunk.
Well, yeah, you don't have any
drunk
carbs in your body.
I don't know how it scientifically worked out, but I was done. There was no coming back from that. I've been laughing. I've been crying, telling this story 100 times, man. It was the funniest thing I've ever
Was that the time that you got second for the overall? Was that day? That time?
Sir. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I was drunk, dude. I was plastered. I didn't even care about a thing in the world. It was not good.
That's crazy.
Well, that's what it comes down to. When you come down to your show time, it's very important to have a plan and stick to the plan and not to derive from it in any way, shape, or form. Me and Brian really had everything dialed down, nitty gritty. I had 6 extra meals of chicken with covered in cinnamon and no stevia and rice. Right there, dry as possible. I wrung out my rice before I put it in my containers. Like if I say dry, I mean dry. Like I was like crunching like on rice.
Really?
My diet was very, very on point. I was very crispy and dry. Dude, when I tell you, I followed my diet to the T.
I was gonna say
there was nothing I could do better except for maybe like kill people before they walked on stage against me to make sure I won.
I was gonna say because I remember the first show you did, at least the first show that I saw was the one the year prior.
Yeah.
And then, and I was like, oh, it looks good. But then this year, when you went on stage, you looked way better, like literally 5 to 10 times better.
Man,
I was like, holy shit. I was like, okay, because his abs, the first show didn't look as like defined and as like in place.
They were there, but they weren't peeled.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't.
I wasn't like a banana getting the peeled and the weird little definition
Right.
looks. You know,
it was there and it looked good, and also your side fat, like you could just tell it went a little bit in, even if it's like a centimeter. It just looks that much better.
It doesn't go away.
It doesn't.
The only
It's
solution
hard.
to do is get wider, in my opinion. That's what I'm gonna do.
That's what I was told, so that's why I worked on my back a lot.
Yeah.
That's why my back is like my strongest point, and that's all I do. I'll do the wides, I'll do the pulls, I'll do everything when it comes down to back.
We should hit the gym again. We haven't hit the gym since
I
leg day a
know.
couple years ago, man.
I know.
I'd love to show you some stuff that I learned from some people way smarter than me. There's a lot of smarter people out, and I love being a humble learner. I'm never going to act like I know. I'll share what I learn. I'm not going to act like I know everything ever, because ego is the downfall of every great man and woman, and people that don't identify as either.
Right.
Put it out there for them. But, you know, ego is not a good thing.
For sure.
I was very humbled to be able to show up at all and win. I suffered a very, very horrible car accident.
Yeah.
Right after, and I had issues walking.
Right after that?
I'm gonna get before this last show.
Oh.
I right after the last Ironman, the first Ironman I did, I was in a car accident, and some nice young man who made a bad decision pulled out of his apartment complex as I was already going 40 down the road.
Oh, damn.
And he sped up pretty fast in his little fast car, and he smashed into me. Our cars got wedged and stuck together, and I saw the collision coming. I braced myself with my arms in my Jeep. Thank God I have a Jeep at the time and not someone else.
I remember the red car, but I don't remember
completely, face smashed into my steering wheel. I had my arms fully extended. My face still smashed into my steering wheel.
Damn.
My arms were all locked out. My whole lower back was messed up. I got out of the car. I was throwing up on the ground. Like, I couldn't see. I called my wife. I had to cover my eyes in the hospital because I was so just dizzy and everything was all jumbled.
Yeah.
I didn't stutter for 4 years before this, and I started stuttering again.
Really?
My hip, my back, and my hip were so bad. When I'd be getting in and out of the car, I'd be crying for work because I had to go back to work the next Monday.
Oh,
This was on a Saturday night, and so I was trying to walk, and my hip wouldn't work at all. My hip would be weird. My leg would fall out randomly. My freaking, don't want to go too deep into this, but my dick didn't want to. Sometimes if my leg was acting up, my dick was acting up too.
That's funny.
So my nerves and everything, my back was so compressed and jacked up, and I'd walk around in pain, like super pain. This sharp pain right in my glutes, in my lower back, throughout my leg, tingly feelings. It was not good.
Damn.
But I spent a lot of time healing and getting ready for this last Ironman, and I showed up and I dieted to the T, and I didn't leave any rocks not flipped over to look for little crabbies on the beach. I did every single detail possible to be the best me, and I didn't break away from the plan. I followed my coach's plan to the T. And Brian, thank you so much. You did it. You know, I'm was a direct result of what his coaching was, and I'm more than thankful for that.
Yeah.
More than thankful. And the people that I got to see there, I got a lot of bad looks. I had some people saying some things to me before the show, you know, talking down.
This recent show?
Well, yeah, talking down on me a lot. And my friends hear things and they talk to me about them, and hey man, you know, I'm not really for the whole drama thing. Tell this guy that if he wants to ever go out for coffee or something, let me know. Other than that, like, unless he wants to fight, just kind of like leave me alone. Yeah. Because I kind of keep to myself. I love my wife. I love my family. I love my home. I love just doing me. I don't I'm not here to upset people or feed in their ego. Yeah. And there was this young man, or he's a little bit older than me, I believe, and he was talking some serious stuff about, and he confronted me a couple times at the show and was talking about how I looked and stuff. And I'm like, you know, it takes a really, really, really shitty person to talk down about somebody else and how they look. As they lose? Well, he may have, he definitely didn't beat me. That's for sure. But I try not to focus on the whole
for sure
one thing.
Yeah.
But this human being, like, it takes a really shitty guy to try to put somebody else down to make themselves feel better. That shows everything about his character. And you know what? If you ever hear this, you know exactly who you are. I'm not going to, you know, defile your name, but dude, you know, if you want a hug, man, I'd love to give you one. You know, you don't deserve to be upset,
right?
Because of somebody else's
Why is he
success.
mad at you though? Why is he talking shit to you?
I love people. I love human beings, except for pedophiles. Fuck those guys. But you know, I love human beings. I want to help people. I don't want to hurt people, and to talk down about me is about the stupidest thing you could do, because I'm still not gonna feed into it.
I just don't get it. I mean, that's what I was told too. Like, I remember Min mentioning, like, make sure, like, to be careful, because people will start trying to get in your head before a competition. They'll say, hey, you look a little fat right there. Hey, you know what I mean? Like, hey, you still got some back fat. You good? Or something like that.
Yeah.
He goes, careful. People are like that. So I was prepared. But luckily, for one, no one said anything to me. Right, no one said anything like about I look bad.
You would have probably knocked them out.
Two, I had no patience that day for anybody, and I never have patience for people like that. I always say it, like, out loud, like, I will never start a fight, and I will never try and play tough guy unless there's like a situation that happens where I have to, you know. But you
don't like bullies either.
Yeah, I don't like that either. So that's one thing I won't go with. That and people who honk at me in traffic. Oh, or who I think if they're honking at me.
I give them kissy faces. Yeah, I love it.
Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah, but I was glad to see you there, because you looked phenomenal. Let's talk about you for a little bit. You doing your transformation. I know you.
Oh, can I touch up on that real quick before? I don't know if I finished it before on what I was saying, because I think I had that phone call. But really quick, the end story on my thing was, I said because if you guys remember, I was talking like, I was like 2 weeks out and I still didn't feel like I changed much. And then finally, like 3 days out, I felt good. When I weighed myself that morning, I started off at like almost 180. Yeah. I walked on stage at 152.
Way to be, man.
In 30 days.
28 pounds?
In 30 days.
You were grinding.
I don't know how. A lot of it was water weight. A lot of it was diet.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Anyways.
Well, you definitely put in work. You should be proud of that, man.
Oh, it was hard, but it was fun. I just wish I took it more serious. And if I would take it more serious during that 30 days, I would look better. If I were to take it more serious the last 3 months, I mean, I would have been up there with you, man. I think, you know, it would have been close.
I think if you diet for a year straight, if you don't win first, you're gonna win second. Okay, I'm telling you this,
because you'll be first, second, right?
You'll be the first, second.
Yeah.
But the more time you put into anything, you're gonna have success. And if you have, like, I think you talked about this on your show a couple of days ago about becoming 1% better or something like that.
Just a little bit better day by day. Yeah, knowing if today's not good, tomorrow's gonna be better.
Yeah, about after 100 days, you're gonna be 100% better or something like that. I really listened to that, and that really sunk into my chest. I don't want to quote you because I'm gonna mess it all up.
Just go ahead and quote it. I'll correct you if anything.
You know, if you I'm gonna try to do your voice.
Don't worry.
If you spend one every day getting 1% better, then after 100 days you're gonna get 100% better.
Something like that.
Something like that. And
I'll listen back to this to make sure.
That was so interesting that you said that, because it's absolutely true. I decided after that, after that show at Ironman, that I was going to continue that, get better every day. So I've decided I'm going to get better at how I deal with confrontation. I'm going to give everybody who confronts me in a violent way a way out. That's something I didn't do in the past, and I regret it. Not just because like when I'm working on an elevator or something, like my hand will start acting weird. Yeah. Because of damage to my fists, and it's not because that it damages your soul when you try to harm people for a long period of time. So I try to be better at understanding, better at being empathetic, better at trying to help people, better at seeing signs of mental problems and trying to help them. Listening. Yeah. And I try to be better at, lifting weights, better at protecting my home. That's been a big focus. That's been a big focus, man.
We'll definitely get into that, I'm sure.
Oh, yes. But doing a show, no matter what platform, no matter how big or small or natty, or you can do whatever you want to win, everybody that showed up there that day is amazing. Oh, yeah. So that's why I don't want to talk too bad about that guy. He showed up there with a purpose, and if his purpose was to make himself feel better by talking bad about me, I'm happy for him. I really am. Right. And I wish him no ill will. You can't expect to be great putting anyone else down, and that's a quote Arnold Schwarzenegger said that I didn't. Yeah. So, it's true. It's true. There's a lot of people that make fun of people or put other people down to feel better. You're never going to become great putting anybody else down. Help somebody rise up. Do something amazing today. Help somebody else up.
For sure.
Tell somebody something when they need to hear it, because
I understand it's a competition things. I mean, think about UFC or boxing, but the fact is that this is more of a community thing and more of like a brotherly thing than it is a competition. Because if it was a competition, I mean, if people want to really get up in like the face, like MMA and stuff, it's a different story. They're not going to say half the stuff they say, because when it comes down to showtime, it's going to be different. And by the way, I also want to correct you on that quote that you said earlier.
Yes,
it wasn't the 1%, but it was similar. I might have mentioned a percentage. It was the tickets in the bucket.
The tickets in the bucket.
That's what it was.
I've heard so close to that. But
so I came up with that randomly.
You got it.
Someone else probably mentioned it before in life. I didn't come up with it, and I'm the inventor.
Chris said it now, so it's his.
No, but I thought of it as like, because it just makes sense. If you ever want to win anything and there's a bucket and there's 10 people around or whatever, you have 100 tickets, right? 10 are yours, 10 are yours, 10 are yours.
Yeah, brother.
For every ticket you put in, which means for every time that you count yourself in, and every time that you try and do better, and every time you practice this and that, for anything with that, everything, right?
Yeah.
You put more tickets in the bucket. Now you have 100 and they have 10 each. There's a greater chance for you to be noticed when it comes. Now, I think I was referring it to like my brand being noticed more or something like that, or just how I feel like I have more tickets in the bucket. So whoever says something about me, I have more tickets in the bucket. You know what I mean? I
feel you, brother.
So there's a whole bunch of representations I could think of when it comes to that saying, but it fits anyone's need. So it's like, for instance, for you, for however many days you do your training, you know, with like your like I don't know if I can call it weapons,
firearms,
whatever,
guns of devastation.
Yeah. For every day that you practice that, you give yourself a ticket because you're that much better.
Got a lot of fucking tickets.
Anyways, that was the quote. I just wanted to make sure that I got right. But I'll take the 100% one too, because that one works good too. For every time that you do good, you give yourself a 1% chance to be better, you know? So
yeah, every day matters and every moment matters. And you showing up there, even though you did it on a short end, it holds weight and it adds value to your life, because that's something you can look back and say, okay, well, I didn't do everything I should have. Now, if I want to revisit this, if I want to show back up to the show, and really dedicate like a 6 months period of my life to this, and I'll probably win first. If six months training nonstop, I'm definitely gonna win first, and it pays off every time that you really apply yourself. It really does. Every
Definitely.
time.
I was looking for my trophy. I still have that little necklace one.
Yeah.
With the thing. But yeah, man.
I keep mine too. I have them in my home.
6th place out of 6 is what I got. But I joke about it a lot, but I'm happy with it because, like you said, just showing up.
It's huge.
That's the hardest part. Or no, that's the easy part. But the training that it takes to get to that point was the hard part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's still hard getting on stage. You're getting on stage in front of people that you don't know. You're getting on stage in front of people.
Intimidating. They're seeing you with your shirt off.
Yeah.
A lot of people 30 days before that might not even be comfortable with themselves. You know?
Did you see my 30-day transformation? Did I ever show you that?
I think I obsess over you on Instagram because I try to focus on people who are shining bright in life.
Yeah.
And less on the people who are being negative.
It's just crazy to me, like, fuck. To think that I start off like this.
Wow.
Very. You guys can't see this picture. I think I'm too lazy to edit it in.
Do you want me to describe it for him?
You could.
Okay, we have armpit hair, flat chest. We have a bloated stomach. You can still see 2 abs and a little bit of side fat leading into back fat, which is creased, means cellulite. And when he showed up on stage, he looked like cover of Maxim. Yep, 8-pack. Yeah, you looked great, man. You looked great.
And this was the day before. I ate a cheeseburger after this.
Yeah.
And then I ate a little bit more before the competition. But you can still see here, I was still kind of fat on the side, which you can't get rid of too much, but I could have done better.
It just takes time.
And then a lot more. My upper chest I need to work on. I'm pretty much back to this. But
you're not. Don't sell yourself short, man.
I still have. I think I had a better body here, but anyways, it's just because I haven't been in the gym in like 6 months.
Well, yeah, man, I understand. I try to be in relatively decent shape year round.
Yeah.
Obviously, I diet a lot for a long time, so my body.
Is that now?
It's a lot of food. on my body, and that's a lot of protein sitting into my body, and a lot of heavy weight and reps and stuff like that, and it sets into you. And every time I buy a bigger pair of clothes and it's not filled with fat, my heart wants to sing a little bit because I'm more comfortable with my body. I don't ever see myself as a person, and that's where I kind of stopped looking at myself. Oh, I got to get bigger. No, I've never really thought of that. I've always been like a skinny dude with fast hands, and now that I'm a bigger dude, I understand that being how muscular you are and how scary and intimidating you may look is not everything. Everything is about how you conduct yourself, and I think that I'm a better person for understanding that my body is what it is right now because of what I put into it, and it is literally just my art. It's my art. When I step on stage, I want to look aesthetically pleasing. I want my muscles to look symmetrical. I want my back to be appealing. I want to be what a light-skinned Greek god would look like. Okay, that's my best description. But I want to be as physically good as possible, and it also has to do a lot with how appeasing you are to your wife. Like to me, as a partner to my wife, I want to look good for her. I want to spend every day getting a little bit better and better looking for her.
Right.
I don't want her to lose me in catching that eye, not because I'm afraid of it, but I want to keep being appealing to her, like sexually, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and I want to get better in all these aspects. And so, it is a big piece of me. I'm not scared of losing muscle. Like I took a month off. 2.5 months off when I was moving because I was doing 20-hour days between work and my house.
Oh wow.
So I couldn't really, lift weights. It would be unethical to lift weights and not diet properly and burn all this energy out. It would be a waste of my time. But I ate pretty clean, pretty healthy. So I'm still pretty lean. Now I'm just building right back up to where I was, and I'm creeping, and I move fast when I eat. Because my coach says, can you handle more food? The answer is never going to be no. And Brian knows that. He'll fucking give me all the food in the world. Excuse my language. I'm a little vulgar. But I've had a lot of days.
There's no PG on here.
Carrier. Yeah, there's no PG. I'm sorry.
I know you spent how many days on that carrier?
Ooh, boy. I think it was like my deployment was 10 and 3/4 months. I think it was like, I'm really not good at math, man, so forgive me.
Deployment, where's that? Was that just in the...
I went to the Middle East, yeah.
Oh, you went there?
I went to London, Dubai, Bahrain. No, sorry. Bahrain, Bahrain.
Did you touch the land or did you stay on the boat?
Yeah, you touch land. And then you go right back to dropping bombs on these fucking terrorists, right? Because terrorists need to die no matter what country they're in for the greater good of the people in that country so that our amazing soldiers and Marines can establish good connections and get rid of terrorist insurgents on the ground and reestablish community values and protect homes and education. That's why being forward deployed is so important. We have to help other people in need. And also in America, we have to stop acting like it's not a serious issue. We need to help other people in America. There's people who have had their houses burned down for being called racist when they may or not be. If you're a racist, you know what? Who am I to say your house deserves to be burned down? You're just a dumb fuck. It's not my fault, right? Yeah. But burning down another person's home or their business, that some people live off those businesses, and I know a few people who had their businesses in the CHOP or the Chaz or whatever they called it that had to leave. Yeah, they had no customers going to their place. They were actually threatened and shook down by gunpoint by these Chaz police human beings, and it breaks my heart to know that they're never ever going to have their business again. That is, to me, you're impeding on their rights, which means you're a bad person. You're not doing this for social benefit anymore, because this is selfish. You're saying, give me money or I'm going to burn your shit down. That's not for the greater the good. That's theft, evil. Right? That's evil. That's selfish. It only benefits yourself. It's selfish. Selfish people are evil. People that, I'm not trying to compare them to pedophiles or whatever, but all these horrible things are selfish. And I don't agree with that. And when you're overseas and I hear and talk with my good friends, my brothers about I sit there and have a drink with my Marine buddy, and he's telling me that the most horrible thing that he ever had to watch overseas was a kid get his head cut off for coming out as gay. Holy shit. Because they saw what was going on over in America. And people have gay pride, and he thought that he was okay to be gay. His own parents outed him, and the fucking Taliban and these not the Islam. There's nothing wrong with Islam, the Nation of Islam or whatever. Right. Nothing wrong with it whatsoever. But the Taliban and ISIS, these ISIS fucks,
Yeah.
showed up and they beheaded this young man for being gay.
Damn.
So I don't agree with people impacting, other civil liberties, and I'm not going to sit there and act like every single person in the military or the police force is good, but I'm happy that for an opportunity to devote any of my life or any of my part to the greater good of the world, and not because of who the fucking president was, because that shit doesn't matter.
Right.
Because I wanted to help. I wanted to donate part of my life to helping other people, and if it resulted in wrongful death, I feel bad about it. But if terrorists died, I'm so thankful for my opportunity to serve. I've turned in 4 different packages that were all denied to go boots on ground and fucking bring death to people. I definitely signed up, in my belief, for the wrong military branch, because I wanted to go kill a fucking terrorist.
Yeah.
Because terrorists are horrible.
What's the right military branch?
I would say, hey, I don't want to be talking that shit, but if you want to see the action, if you really want to make,
is it an obvious answer that we probably know?
Any special
First
forces,
to go, first to leave.
Special force.
Oh, special force. Okay.
Any special force, I would say, if you really want to make a direct difference, a direct difference. If you want to train other cultures out there on how to properly protect their area, I would say test your limits. Go to special forces, train for a year before you even sign up. Don't just sign up and say, "Oh, I'll get through it." No, you won't.
Yeah.
They're gonna fuck you up in your mind, and they're gonna break you down. You have to be an exemplary human being to make it through there. And you might even, there's a lot of bad seeds that come out in the special forces too, but they got through the training and they go out and do these things.
Right.
And I think that our heroes, no matter what uniform they wear, are always going to be surrounded around bad people, whether it's on their team or not.
Yeah.
So it's important that we have more people going into these things. Like the more people, I know a girl that just joined the Linwood Police Department. I'm so proud to know this human being who is devoting part of her life to protecting her own city that she lives in and grew up in and has family in. That's awesome to me.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bad cops out there and a lot of good cops that see the shit and they're too scared because of retrieval from to be attacked or fired or you seen Bright how they treated that motherfucker, just something like that, for doing the right thing. And I think it's sad, it's pathetic. We need more people to volunteer and do great things and devote their lives to the greater good of humanity. And we need more leaders. We don't need people who are cower in fear and be afraid to say, I love America. I love people in America, and I'm sad that there's racist fucks in America. Let's get them. Let's get the racist ones, but not just the people who are saying I love America and have white skin, and not all the people that are upset about this and burning shit are bad people. Maybe they're just hurting and they just don't know how to express it. But either way, we need more leaders. We need more leaders in the world. We need more vocal people who believe in their American fucking way of life. People that will do what's right. Will stick their hand in the fire. Will stop someone from stealing from a store. I did that last week.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, this is America. It's our country. Stand up for what you believe in. If not, don't.
Right.
And I try to apply that to everything. I care about everybody's. I don't want to impede on anybody else's views. If you want to stand on the corner wearing a Ku Klux Klan uniform or their fucking little nasty bullshit that they wear, I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, let's go kill these fucks.
Right.
I'm going to think it.
For sure.
My heart might will it to happen, but I'm not going to wish death on them.
For sure.
Same with someone who is just any reason, any peaceful protest.
For sure.
The First Amendment is there for a reason. I don't think it should be fucked with, and I think that in order to exercise the First Amendment, you should definitely research the Second Amendment and keep that thing on you, so that when people come around to try and intimidate you, they understand the severity, the consequences that will arise for imposing on your civil liberties. And I'm thankful that in our city we have police that I know, that I trust, that I call when I need them, and that I don't call when I don't need them. I deal with shit myself, and I stand up for what I believe in, and I share love with everybody.
Right.
So people usually don't fuck with me.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Well, it's always good to know because, by the way, you are a black male yourself, saying this, by the way. So I don't know if we ever introduced.
I'm half white, though. I get hate
for
from
sure.
both sides.
For sure.
It's great.
For sure. I'm just saying, though, that just for context, because some people, you know, would like. I mean, the fact
You're speaking.
Me
alt-right. They probably call me a racist.
Well, you're speaking on both sides though. So like me, I don't know what kind of opinion I even have on anything going on because I don't even understand what's going on. So it's kind of hard for me to say like what's right or wrong. But hearing like from you, who literally has it on both sides, who thinks equally non-biased.
Yeah.
You understand what's right and what's wrong, and that's all that matters to you.
I've witnessed police brutality.
For sure.
I've been on the receiving end of it. I've been fucking racially profiled. I've had people come after me for being black.
Really? Wow.
I've had people try to attack me in my military uniform in Virginia, call me nigger squid, and try to harm me.
Oh my God.
And I've been in fights over racism.
They say that?
They yelled it out of the van window and tried to get out.
I'm not laughing. I'm fucking shocked.
Isn't that shocking?
Holy crap. Like, bro, it took for a second to hit, but I hit like Navy, right? Navy?
My first 7 days. It was my first 7 days. It was just after the New Year. I just came back from a couple days home with my girlfriend and family, and I was sent to my first ship, an aircraft carrier, USS Theodore Roosevelt, CVN 71. Shout out to deployment 2015. Crew, you're the best. And I got out there, man. Someone called me a fucking nigger squid, and my heart was like shredded in a couple pieces. I was like, "What? People really don't." I can't
believe people actually say something like that. The military is pretty. Shout out to military. I respect everything they do, but I've heard some pretty crazy stories that were pretty racial. Like, I'm not gonna repeat any of it because then I'm not racist, but I wouldn't want to come off as racist. And
I understand, man.
I'm not gonna say anything, but I've heard a lot of respect for your channel.
I hope that people would understand that. But it is what it is. There's a lot of racism.
Did that affect you though, like mindset wise, or did it just kind of be like these guys are fucking idiots?
Well, I have a very easy way of understanding threats. I've been in violent situations before, and I understand how real it is. I've had friends die in front of me, really good friends, and I understand how precious life is because it can be gone with the pull of a trigger. And so, and I don't mean this in a threatening manner towards anybody.
Right.
I mean this in a way I would say there's people out there who want to wish harm on others, and they don't even know you. If you don't even know me, if you had a problem with me, I'm sure you would be like, hey, you know, Eddie, I really don't like it when you did this. And I'd be like, man, I'm sorry, dude. How can we move past this? Because I value you. I value you, and I care about how you feel. A lot of people don't have that luxury in our world, which is why half of it's fucking burning right now.
It's like fighting back.
Yeah.
You'll be like, no, fuck you. You did this.
Yeah. Well, fuck you. You're this. And I think there's a lot of hatred in the military and everywhere. Just like in the police department, there's hatred. Fire department, there's hatred. Hospitals, there's hatred. There's hatred everywhere, and it's generational. And I'm not going to say that the Confederate flag's a bad thing, but there's a lot of people who perceive it as a bad thing. When people are just proud that their great, whatever the fuck, how many years grandfather was on one side or the other of a war, lose or not. They're just proud, and they got passed down generation to generation. There are people who live in countries in South America that are descendants of Nazis, and they are so proud that they put on gloves to show people and tourists in their home a Nazi knife and a Nazi pistol. Like, this is real. You should look it up. Tim Kennedy shit. But this is it's called generational hatred, and it's been a reason why I don't talk to some of my family is because when I was born, my own grandfather wouldn't hold me and my own grandmother because I was
you're
a nigger
black
to them.
Wow.
And that's something that I just don't understand. And it's probably because their parents were the same way, or their parents were the same way.
You're saying that it's just like it was almost they were taught, so they don't know that it's bad to say something like that.
Oh no, they know. They just don't give a fuck because it's okay in their culture. And I think a lot of things are okay in our culture that are not right. And they're trying to make things okay in our culture, like this whole pedophile thing. Like, I don't understand how you can try to legitimize someone to literally ruining the childhood of a fucking child. Like, I can't even put this into words to try to make sense.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
But generational problems without them being dealt with. If you're a racist and you're in front of me and you say something that tries to dehumanize me, you try to label me something, you're going to be met with an act.
Right.
of some sort. Of
Right.
some sort. I might say, listen, man, I want you to understand who the fuck I am. My grandpa was a Black Panther. My other grandpa wouldn't fucking hold me as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And you just call me a nigger.
Right.
What do you think I'm going to do to you right now? Like,
Right.
Really, what do you think? I'm a human being. I'm a man. I'm a veteran of the United States military.
Right.
And I care about everybody here. What do you think I should do to somebody who just said that to me? Like, do you think I'm a sheep and I'm gonna bend to your will?
Right.
You're not a sheepdog. You're not a protector. You're a wolf. You're here to try to prey on people and dehumanize them and make them feel weak or inferior. And I'm not going to support the ideology of that. I'm going to resist, just like a lot of Jews did with Hitler. And I don't give a fuck if it kills me. I'm going to die for what I believe in, but I'm not going to allow racism or hatred to happen in front of me. I'm going to deal with it one way, verbally, physically, whatever way it warrants. You don't need, I'm not saying go out there and harm people who are racist, because a lot of them are just fucking stupid, okay?
Yeah, a lot of them are very uneducated. A lot of the racists that I've seen, especially on these dumb Facebook videos, and these are like I hate to say it, but these are the so-called Karens of the world, right? And these are the maybe Kyles too. I have no idea what they're called.
Oh yeah, the name's Kyle.
But
no, don't.
but these people are just so uneducated. Whenever I see someone going, like the whole barbecue thing and the whole playing music and a kid doing this and they're calling the cops on them and blah blah blah, and it's just like these people are clearly uneducated. So. And I see racism as anger. I don't see it too much as, I see it as like almost jealousy and misunderstanding and just being uneducated and on division. Anything and any race. Yeah. So I'm educated as fuck.
You travel. You travel, don't you?
I travel.
Yeah.
But even before I traveled, what was my friend group? How many white friends did I have?
Oh man, dude, you hung out with nothing but every single human being that was not white that you could do. Because you're so kind to people.
So the thing about that is too that, and I'm not saying that as in like this is the reason why I'm blah blah blah, but it's like I understood the culture that I was around, the Asians, the Mexican, the Black, the Native Americans, I can't even think of anything else. Arabic, everything,
very diverse,
everything.
You're ethnically approachable. Anyone of any different skin color or religion could talk to you and you'd be nice to them.
For sure. And it's only because, like, I mean, this probably sounds corny and someone's going to probably try and call me out on it, but whatever, screw you.
Enjoy.
But it's about, I don't see, color in a sense. And I'm not colorblind. I'm not a fucking idiot where I'm like, I don't see black. It's like, I don't see reason to hate because of that. I see a human being in front of me and that's it. And I even told Eddie this before. No matter what skin color you are, whatever your background is or who you identify as, I don't care. Yeah. As in, like, I'm not going to judge you off that. But if you're a piece of shit, you're a piece of shit. No matter who you are. So that's how I grew up, and that's what my dad taught me. Is like, don't. At first he was wondering why you hang out with like a bunch of Asians and Mexicans and all that stuff. He thought I was going to get into a gang or something, but it was dancing, and he understood further, and I educated him.
It's a culture because I think I tried to talk with your dad back when we were in high school, man. I talked with your dad a little bit, and I'm like, you got to understand, man, the culture is just different. I know you're not accustomed to this culture. The culture is family, is you create your own family. Everybody's so connected. There's who I can tell you, like, it's so interesting, the difference between people that show up for people just to show up from culture to culture. And I think there's a lot of issues that we're going through in America that could be solved just by opening up your heart and closing your eyes and just listening to people. When I listen to people, I really want to hear what their soul is saying. And I try to look past the frustration and emotions and stuff, because I'm not a very emotional person. I'm straight to the point and I'm honest with people. And it's pretty white. Everything's pretty white and black to me. Yeah. Is that even an appropriate thing to say? Am I gonna get canceled for that? Probably.
But you can say whatever.
Pretty, black and white. Everything's spelled out. It's obvious to me that you're either a good person or a bad person.
Right.
All of which resides in your heart, but you make a decision what you're gonna do. Everybody knows that it's not okay to walk down the street and throw rocks at people or try to attack a person for the skin color.
Right.
Just because they're the exact opposite of what you saw on the internet. Doesn't make it any fucking better.
Mm-hmm.
Racial hatred has to stop, and it stops when we have conversations between each other and we talk about issues that are really going on, and we figure out how to pull back these boundaries that are separating us.
I would say that's like almost like the best way to do it too, because I mean, I feel like the best way to have racism, quote unquote, end. Well, I'm not saying racism, quote unquote, as in like it's not real. What I'm trying to say is like the end part is the quote. Because, I mean, to be honest, do you think it's going to end right now?
Maybe 150 years from now.
Maybe. But here's the thing. There's always going to be that one person. But I think this is the best part is when everyone else gathers up and they understand, like, or when racism dead, it is 99% of people. There's still going to be the 1%. It's life. People are just idiots, right? People are going to grow up in Alabama somewhere. I agree. But
no, I'm joking. Don't tell me out me like that. I didn't mean it. I was joking around when I said kill him.
Yeah, I know. Anyways,
but give them hugs from black people.
Exactly. So what I'm trying to say though is this may possibly never end.
Yeah.
But the majority of people that aren't racist, I hope will go up to 99.99% here soon, because I think it just needs to be educated more in our schools. It's not taught like racism's bad. They'll say something, but from what I learned in school,
they don't go over it, man.
They don't. They go over, hey, this is the year that there was slavery. And then here's the year that Civil War or something. I don't know. I don't remember the
education system is not meant to raise your children. You gotta have conversations with your children.
God. Yeah.
I try to talk to my wife's little brothers, right? Because I love them so fucking much, right? My wife's mother is a single mother raising 2 kids. And there's a human being that's not a part of their child's life. He's a horrible person. I'm not going to go into that because I'm just going to want to rip my eyelids off. But, you know, she does her best to be the best loving mom she can. And her little brothers, they are so ethnically diverse. One of them wants to be a rapper, and the other one wants to be a UFC fighter. Like, I shit you not. These two, they have friends with everybody. They don't like make black jokes or white jokes, any jokes. They love everybody of every color. They're all really good human beings. And I think and I have talks with them about protecting your home. I have talks with them about gun safety. I have talks with them about understanding where these bad people are coming from. When someone says, I don't like you because your ideas are not mine, that's dealing in absolutes, and it's wrong. That's one thing Star Wars Episode 3 got right when they were talking about only a Sith deals in absolutes. A Sith is portrayed as a bad person in the fucking movie, right?
Right.
So dealing in absolutes, saying, if you don't agree with my ideas, then you're racist. That's not okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm only saying that because your skin color is white, Chris. And that's racist. And that's not okay.
Right.
These are conversations I have with these kids.
Understood.
Because we have to talk to the youth. The youth are the future. The time we're living in right now is a whole lot of passive aggressive shit. There's people that will show up and make all this noise and pick and choose what times they're going to try to harm other human beings in the middle of the night in their homes. They're going to set wildfires when there's already wildfires going on, killing thousands of animals and destroying homes of animals out there. And there's people out there that would harm you for your beliefs, and that is not something that should happen.
No, it's not.
And we have to start talking to people and the youth, and the best way to move forward is to converse with people and share understanding and help them understand why these people are doing this and why it's wrong still. It's if I was in a different country and you showed up with your group of Marines and you walked in my village pissed off, just pointing guns at everybody and keep moving, what is that going to make me think? Fear, pissed off, frustrated. Why are you walking through my shit with your guns out on my kids and my women and children here? Yeah. If you stop, get out of your vehicles, talk to me, ask me what you can do to help. Do we have water? Are we being intimidated by an outside threat? What am I going to do? I'm going to connect with you as a human being and ask for your help.
Right.
And this is something that I've tried to spend a lot of time listening to a lot of podcasts and people that are smarter than me or experience different things than me, so I can talk about things like this, because it's important to understand that it's not very different in America. I speak with the police. The police speak with me. I can't go comfortably out of my city of Linwood and say, honestly, that I'm not gonna be racially profiled. I can't do that because it happened to me in Tacoma with my dad. And a shotgun to my fucking face, and they beat the shit out of my dad in front of me. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So this is different. In my city, Linwood, I converse with the police officers. They go out of their way to establish a relationship with the people here in our city.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for it. They don't just pull people over here to take it. No, they go and talk. They hang out with kids at parks and shit, right?
Yeah.
It's great. They police. They create an environment that is friendly and understanding. They don't stay in their patrol car like I don't even have a word for it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They don't stay in their patrol car and not converse with people.
Right.
What does that? You're hiding behind this. I see this badge. I see a gun. I know that you have a rifle in your and maybe a shotgun too. I'm not sure. In your patrol car. I know you might have a dog. I know you might have a partner.
Yep.
And I know that in my city, I don't have to worry about that. A lot of people can't say the same thing. So that's why I understand why they feel the need to burn shit.
So if you go out to Everett or Marysville
I know a couple
or
cops in
Arlington,
Everett too, but Marysville, fuck no. Not Marysville.
Marysville's bad.
Absolutely not. Arlington, we're just working right up the wrong way.
Yeah. The more south, the more north you go.
I got interrogated by the sheriff's department.
Really?
These amazing sheriffs in the North Marysville, Arlington area for robbing my own house.
How do you rob your own house?
Dude.
I'm just saying, how did that call happen?
I don't know. I literally don't know. They told my mom, and my mom, trying to be a good citizen, was like, okay, we'll go answer whatever question you need. Yeah, let's go talk about what questions. She thought they were just pulling me in there to ask me about fucking what was missing or whatever. No, they interrogated me for 3.5 hours, trying to use reverse psychology on me. Didn't work. Try again.
You're in the military.
This is before then.
Really?
Yeah, I was 16, dude.
So you're smarter than that.
Dude, it was
you're
a
smarter
joke.
than normal.
I read books on psychology since I was 14 up. Okay, try again, sir.
Yeah.
But what logic would lead anyone to rob their own house?
Yeah.
Does it look
was
like
this your mom's house?
Yeah, but me and my mom were renting rooms from a bigger home, and we were like roommates. And did they rob the house and stole my shit? Xbox 360 was gone and all that shit. Man.
I've had that happen.
They're like, well, he's, they don't really say he's the only black one, but they're like, well, he's the only juvenile on that block. And so I just called him out. I was like, no, it's because I'm fucking the only black person on our street. So you're a fucking racist piece of shit. Yeah. You should be ashamed to wear the badge you wear. Mom, take me home. You do not have to have me here anymore. They wasted enough of my time.
Oh my God.
And so my mom took me home.
That is crazy. I think it's crazy because this is where I think a lot of, black people will be very enraged for everything that's going on right now because it's true. It happens. Like,
it does fucking happen, dude. It's horrible.
And because as a white man, I've never experienced this. If anything,
God, I'm happy that you haven't, man.
Exactly.
I don't wish that on you. It's terrifying.
I feel because I'm trying to understand these situations because the only bad experience I had with the cop was when he picked me up from a party and took me home.
Oh,
Instead
God.
of he shot some girl in the face with the taser and took me home in the back of a car because it was past my bedtime.
That sounds like a pretty wild night, man.
Well, it was a really crazy party. It was somewhere in fucking Monroe, obviously, and
I go shoot down.
It wasn't my party.
Yeah.
But it was a random party, and like I said, of course, this is probably like what's it called? They call it white privilege.
Well, they call it white privilege. I don't believe in white privilege. I think there's good cops and bad cops out there, just like good humans and bad human beings.
I think I could agree it was white privilege, though. I think so.
In society overall, yeah.
But the only thing is, it was an all-white party.
Oh, fuck. Oh, God. Cannot compute. I don't know what to say now, right?
There might have been a couple, I think there might have been one or two black people, a couple Mexicans. It was in Monroe. Come on, man.
Every situation.
But what I'm trying to say is that's the only, besides being pulled over. So I'm trying to connect with a lot of people, especially you and other close peers, because I know police brutality is real. I see it all the time, especially through the video. I never seen it in person because if I do, I'm going to do something about it, right?
Yeah, dude, step in, brother. Step in. Stop.
I'm
making a citizen's arrest. You're harming. Call your supervisor. I'm not going to let you harm this person. If they arrest you,
right?
You immediately waive your right to your attorney. You can do that. Yeah, you don't have to say a word to anybody.
No, I will always stand up for what I think is right. And what I think is right is here's one thing. The cops carry three things that could harm someone. maybe 4, depends.
Yes.
The first course of action I would take if I'm trying to arrest somebody.
Open palm strikes.
I was going to say baton or something.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Okay. Only because if you really trying to get this guy down, hit his knees. Right. Yeah. If it comes to that situation, if this person is actually resisting and they're actually like a threat to your life,
if they got like
hit them in the knees. That doesn't work. You have a taser. You might have 2, one that you could and one you could shoot.
Yeah, you got prongs so you can shoot at a motherfucker, or you can
do that.
Tap tase them.
Hit them in their butt cheek or something, so that way
they throw up
anywhere.
Yeah.
And then your last resort, if they pull out something. If you're just a weak ass bitch, don't be a cop. Dude. If you can't take them out, don't be a cop. If you're sitting there, and the whole donut joke I think is real because it's real. I've seen so many fat ass cops that cannot run a mile, and it's horrible. You should be physically ready for this position because it's a lot. It's for care.
Selfless.
It's for everything.
You have to be above and beyond.
So I think the right action. Now I'm not a cop. I'm not the law. I'm not any of that. But out of common sense, we're all human beings. If I want to find a way to take down Eddie, which is heavier than I am and more physically built than I am, if I want to find a way to take down a Eddie, the gun's not going to be my first option. I could find a way to take him down, and I will take him down.
Yeah, it is always the way to take.
No matter the situation,
no one's good enough.
Exactly. So it's just, I just feel like people need to understand that, and even the police, and the whole thing with being defunded, I just don't understand that yet. Only because I don't understand it because I don't know what it is. I don't know what it does. I don't know where it goes to. If I were to think of anything that would be good for the police is proper training through even like more mental than it is physical. I think they should practice a lot more when it comes to mental, when it comes more to the law, when it comes more to anything. I think they should get psychiatrists. They should get, what else? What else does it? There's psychiatrists. They should get health care workers to learn from attorneys, whatever, lawyers, learn it. So that way they understand. So that way they don't get themselves in these positions and they can be smarter with it. You know what I mean?
I completely concur, man. I think that the idea of defunding the police is a positive thing in some situations.
Agreed.
And a negative thing in other situations.
Agreed.
And I'm not going to say which one's more or less because it depends on each individual officer and each individual town.
Exactly.
My thought would be a good place to start, better training. Why does a barber have more hours than a person who is trusted by the city to have a badge and a gun and go around in the streets and intervene in domestic violence disputes, shootouts? Why is this happening? Why is this person supposed to help a rape victim? Why there was a young lady, I'm not going to name the young lady because it's already publicized all over the news and it's heartbreaking to see. She reported a rape and the police department dismissed it. Oh, you sure you didn't ask for it? Like kind of shit like that.
Oh, God.
Like completely dehumanizing this person who was literally raped.
Didn't give her a shot.
That is bad. Why is this happening? Like if I take an oath to protect and serve people, I'm going to be serving people. I'm going to say, hey, what do you need? Let's get you help. Let's get you a friend here that can make you feel safe, hug you so you can cry, and let's get this motherfucker behind bars. We need to just enact different ways of doing things.
Yeah.
Every situation is different. A police officer approaching you might be different than me.
Yeah.
Police officer approaching me armed versus unarmed might be a different thing. A good police officer will act the same way and then profile the situation. Yes, profile. I fucking said it. Profile whatever's going on. Categorize things. Okay, assess my threat level. Assess my intention, and work from there. Because you can't protect me if I'm a horrible human being and just want to end this person's life because of their job occupation or occupation. Sorry, I said that completely wrong.
No worries.
But what I do personally, just on my level, because we can all be great citizens and great human beings and Americans, I practice de-escalation. I practice closing the distance on people. Just because I have a gun doesn't mean I'm looking to end somebody's life. Every life has value. And that's something that needs to be taught to people again. These cell phones seem to we don't all meet up and just talk and bullshit anymore. A lot of times we interact via the phones, and it really dehumanizes other people. Like when I call people, I always I don't like texting. I usually call people. Like, hey man, what the fuck is going on? And they're like, what? Yeah, I just
they get
called
caught
you.
off guard.
I want to interact with you. We don't have a lot of interaction, so the value of life is actively going down. And in order to really pull back these blinders and boundaries, we need to understand that we need to learn how and teach other people how to defuse a situation. It shouldn't be a brave thing to confront somebody. That should be a regular thing. If you are afraid to say whatever you want to say to me, there's a problem.
Right.
Why don't you feel comfortable doing that?
Right.
I want my fucking children to be able to say, hey, Dad, this bully tried to beat me up today, and I defended myself, and I stopped when he was on the ground after he figured out that it's not a good idea to attack people. Said, good job, son. What did your teacher say? They're trying to suspend you? Well, let me go and fucking deal with this problem. Let me go interact with this human being and let him know my son defended himself, and you're not going to penalize him for that.
Yeah.
Or my daughter, especially. Yeah. Daughters, we have to protect our women. The women are the future. The children are the future. We got to fucking protect them. But I practice these things. I want to create this environment where it's okay to do that. Yeah.
I think it is good, and especially if a lot of parent, because of course when it comes down to it, comes down from this all starts. I'm trying to make it sound very clear and very, so everyone can comprehend what I'm saying. But all of this starts at a young age. Nobody is born racist. Nobody is born mean.
Nope.
They are born crying out of a vagina.
For now, Chris.
Hey,
you just wait. I'll birth a baby.
Oh, I mean, if you want to, then I'll say that. But until it happens, but what I'm trying to say though is, this starts at home.
Yeah.
These cops that are bad, these people that are bad, these racists, everything starts at home. So, for instance, right? You said that your grandparents didn't want to hold you or something like that because you were black.
Sucked.
Imagine if you were taught your whole life, blacks are bad, you shouldn't blah, 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 you shouldn't hang out, you shouldn't do this. Now you're 21 years old, uneducated, you got a Facebook account, and you see a black guy.
Oh,
exactly.
God.
It starts at
home.
A
white woman, even worse.
So it's just sad that it's as simple as that to fix.
Yeah, man.
I think this could all be done with in 2 years, 5 years, who knows? Because if people actually took action at home at a young age, when it became regular to talk about even sex and everything, right?
Yeah, bro.
At a younger age. And that way...
And not in school. That shit is not for fucking school. Just say that right now.
So...
Evil people teaching our kids sex in school when it's not their parents' consent.
I know, it's kind of weird if you really think about it.
It's not appropriate.
I mean, unless you're teaching like what a bodily fluid is. If you're teaching like, hey, this is the...
Dude,
whatever.
I read the piece of paper, man. My son will not be going to whatever school puts that shit out.
Yeah.
Or my daughter. You gotta protect the children.
Just private school, man. So
private school, yeah, where they don't teach you what your privates can do when you have testosterone or estrogen going crazy.
But with all that being said, it starts at home, and I think the world can be a lot further in its time in the next 5 years. In 2025, I predict, if everyone takes action right now, teaches their kid, even no matter how old they are, this is bad and this is why it's bad.
Absolutely.
This is good and this is why it's good. On appropriate things, not just saying like your own personal opinion. Give the kid a chance to choose if that's the right choice. So don't because that's where racism comes in. If you teach your kid like, oh, these are bad people, these are bad people, you're not giving that kid a chance to understand what's good and bad. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying you're not giving the kid a fair chance to understand life
Their
yet.
Character.
You're putting these things in the kid's head at such a young age that the kid's gonna think that's the answer. That's what's good, and you're the god of the life, and you know everything when you don't. Unless you're a good parent, then you probably do. But give the kid a fair chance, and if you're a racist fuck,
Fuck off.
Just don't
be nice to people.
Give your kid up to someone else. Yeah, right. Be nice.
Be nice.
Be nice. That's all you got to do. And it just starts with that. Like any kid that I meet, and I meet a lot of kids. Like whenever I travel to like Africa or Philippines or even Canada or California or Texas, wherever I go, someone who knows me has like a kid or something like that, and I always greet with so much kindness and so much happiness. And it's never, even to normal people like who aren't kids, right? Like adults who I meet and stuff like that. I don't know if I taught myself this, my dad taught me this, or people I was around. I think it was my dad, but just says, always greet people with kindness. Always be happy. Always do this. And I think just by learning that at a young age, it brought me to where I am now. And that's why whenever I meet people, I meet kids, I meet parents, I meet middle-aged people, whatever, it's always with the same respect, and it's so neutral, no matter what. Even after the whole thing with like 9/11 happened a long time ago, I was a kid.
Man.
I was in 3rd grade. I remember. And I remember a lot of people, fuck them, fuck that, fuck this, towards the eastern side.
A lot of hatred.
And they made it regular. Teachers made it regular. Everyone made it regular to hate the Middle East.
And the Muslims.
And they made it
already here. And Sikhs too.
Anybody that came from that, around that general area or that religion, anything. When they also, that's what I'm saying, they're uneducated.
Yeah.
By them teaching that, they made us scared as 3rd graders. And I was scared at first. I will admit, because I'm a 3rd grader who's being told by an adult who is my teacher that these people are bad. My teacher said that.
Man, 9/11 was...
So what I'm trying to say is, your mind at a young age, when you're taught certain things, can really affect how you feel. Now, luckily, I'm smart enough to look past what other people say and do my own research, and I'll have friends like, oh, everything's fine. Everything's fine, because it is. But ISIS and the other Taliban, whatever they're called, is a different group of people. Just like how whites have the racism, the racist white people, the hicks of the world, right? It's just here in America. You know what I mean?
I think they need to travel too.
Exactly. When I went to Africa, let me tell you this, and I'm not saying this because I'm trying to talk like how I know black culture, because I don't know as much as how I should.
You know exactly what you know, but please share. Don't let anyone else silence you, brother.
But when I went to Africa, I went to Tanzania, a beautiful country, by the way. And it was amazing. Now, when I say beautiful, of course, there's not crazy nice buildings and there's not all this stuff. It was dusty and there was some shacks, but it was beautiful because of one reason: the people, the people's emotions. And I went to a part. I didn't go to the nice part of Tanzania. My bad. It was a nice area. I was in Arusha, I think, and we went and drove somewhere in the middle of the desert, and I have no idea where this place was. There was literally a long-ass road through some mountains and past, and you go through another desert, and it's all open field.
Yeah.
You saw giraffes, you saw elephants, you saw the gazelles, or whatever they're called, those giant zebra-looking things with horns.
Gazelles, yeah.
Yeah, those things. And we went to this school that looked like a house in Call of Duty that you go in because you need to find base.
Yeah.
There was no windows, just doors.
Stripped down.
Nothing. We go there with Convoy of Hope. Shout out to Convoy of Hope, one of the best charities out there that I've personally worked with.
I'm about to get in there and donate to these people.
They give 100% of their proceeds. They're freaking amazing people.
It's happening.
Amazing people. And we had the opportunity to go there to Tanzania to meet these kids that go to the school, because part of the organization is providing shelter, providing food and fresh water. Because out in Tanzania, do you think they have that? They do. But these kids are walking 5 miles to come to this school, by the way, in the middle where there's giraffes and elephants and gazelles, and you're not thinking, oh, well, there's not lions or whatever. There probably is. But do you know how dangerous an elephant is?
Dude.
Do you know how? Tell me. Do you know how dangerous it is?
I'm not going anywhere near an elephant anytime soon. Okay.
People think they're cute little creatures or big creatures.
Enjoy.
Have you ever been chased by an elephant? I don't think there's a living person that has.
Those kids might have been, not me though.
So these kids walk 5 miles, and I'm getting to the beautiful part here. I'm just trying to give you context of the whole scenery. I go there, and these kids show up. We show up behind them. We come out of our car. They're touching us because they're happy to see people. Mm-hmm. We are white. We're Asian. That's our group that we're with. We're not black. They saw us and they praised. They were happy. Not praising us because we're white.
Excited about your culture. And
they're excited to see something different, and they're inviting to it. They are not, get out of my country. They are not rude. Of course they're kids too, but even the adults, they were just so happy. And guess what? They're happy and extremely poor.
You know, there might be this weird connection between happy and poor.
These kids come to us so much love, dude. It was freaking crazy. You know? I would cry.
I would be definitely crying, man. Like, boy. Talking to you and hearing you share about this, it must be the top 10 most interesting things to do is to be appreciated at that level by someone who has so little already. That's pretty overwhelming. I actually was talking with my wife. She saw a couple people go to. I know everybody talks about Africa as if it's this poor rundown place. I know it's not, but there's some portions of it, just like in our country, that they don't have things that we have, but they're still rich in love and happiness and spirit. I wish that I could just go there and share a moment with these people that are going through that point of life.
I'm telling you.
It's got to happen.
Let me show you something.
Yeah, show me.
These freaking kids, man.
Are you planning on going back anytime soon?
I wish, dude. If I had the money, I would go as much as I could.
That's sick. That is absolutely sick, man. What? They're checking out your tats, man.
They said Simba.
Yeah? Because you got the lion on your arm?
Yeah. Even though Simba, I think, is... Wait, Simba's a lion, right?
Yes, I think
this is a tiger.
Oh, it's a tiger?
But they didn't know. But, they said Simba.
That's
but see, look at that. They're just touching. That's their love language. They're so happy.
I've never seen so many smiling children. I look at children in America and they look all depressed now. Wow, that's huge.
Then there's these kids that I made this video. I'm showing a video right now, so that's why it's kind of quiet.
And you went there and spent time with these human beings? It's just wow.
Fly a drone here somewhere. Oh, right here.
That's so amazing, dude.
Yeah.
It's you!
Yeah. Then I flew the drone and got some dope views. It's kind of hard to see because it's dark on the phone, but...
This is the Philippines?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I saw this video about the Philippines that made my heart sore.
Just these... It's like...
Beautiful human beings.
Beautiful. No matter how much money they got, anything. All they care about is happiness.
Yeah. They're very pure human beings. They're not... Looks like they're not tarnished by materialistic
But they're
things.
just... That's the reason why I do stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That's
the
special.
Youth. You teach them young. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to teach them young, man. You have to teach all the children young. You have to teach them to be good people, or they're going to not be good people. You have to be almost... there's this quote that I observed in a this motivational video, and it's a Christian related one, and they said, like a father, you must watch out for your enemies, and your enemies can be your children doing bad things. Your enemies can be the horrible people trying to prey on your children. Your enemies can be swearing or drinking too much around, and then yelling at your kids when they've done nothing wrong, and there's no need to do anything but love them. These amazing human beings that are peaceful and loving. I've made so many mistakes, and one that I do not want to make with my children is being rude to them when they all they need is love. If you love a child enough, the child will not be bad. You don't spoil your children by teaching them to obsess over materialistic things and not appreciate sacrifice and life and love and things. And that's been ingrained into me. I mean, you touched on a lot of things there. You talked about how amazing it is to go and just observe someone who has less than you, but is so much richer than you in their spirit.
Oh yeah.
That's I think it's huge. And you also talked about 9/11. That's a huge day for me as well, man.
Yeah.
I remember what it was like.
It's crazy. I mean,
we had an Iranian kid in my class.
Huh?
We had an Iranian kid in our class.
Yeah.
Name was Fareed. And he got treated really differently, but he also acted very differently.
Yeah.
And I remember in 3rd grade and 2nd grade, him saying things like, I hate America. I don't like it here. This place sucks. I hate white people. I remember hatred is something that's taught. And I used to look at that kid weird because my stepdad deployed to the Middle East and came back changed, and he's never going to be the same again after seeing his friends die and sacrificing periods of his life for his country. And to see that kid say, I hate America. Like, my dad is America. Shut the fuck up. Like,
right.
And but to respond like that in my heart is wrong. Now, looking back, I just don't want someone to talk bad about people that
when now
you
would probably conversate with them and
now
communicate,
I'd be like, listen, man,
without negativity.
Your parents are fucking you up. That's what I would say. But like, I have heroes. All my heroes are very selfless people, and they've all sacrificed a lot for their country and their family, and it's overwhelming sometimes for me. A lot of times, like a 9/11 is a very emotional day for me because I remember the smells. I remember what it sounded like. I remember looking at an American flag because we had a ceremony outside where you all walked out, and I didn't see my stepdad for a long time after that because like that day he left. They left. There was no warning. Our country got attacked. They fucking left. Yeah. And I had to grow up quickly, and I had to be a part of my sister's life. I had to read to her. I had to, help her stay in line and share part of my life with my sister. And I had to kind of step up and be like, I know they call it the man of the house. It's not fun to be the fucking man of the house. And you have to, there's a huge gap that's never going to be filled in me or my sister's lives based off of what war does to people. And there are men much better than me who have given everything and more for this country, for our fucking gas prices, just so you and I can sit here and do this without someone or the government coming after us for putting out propaganda against what they believe in, or that goes against controlling the narrative, which we are in a very serious thing about right now in our country. And I think it was a huge day, and I look at it with a lot of hatred, 9/11, because I can remember walking over to where the flagpole was after everybody left, and I put a little flower, a little white, or is a buttercup flower, at the bottom of the flag, and I cried. And then I went home and sat down because I already knew he was going to go and get pulled. And they deployed out of McCord Air Force Base and went to war. And he went multiple times after that. And, war. War is something that has affected me in a way that I can't describe in words. And it makes me very impartial to understanding when people talk about it. Like me, I didn't go to Iraq. I didn't fucking go to Afghanistan and see the carnage. But I've listened to so many of people that I care about talk about it. And it's kind of hard for some people to envision what these people talk about. Like, oh, you were in such a dark place that you shot somebody in the face that you don't even know. Yeah, he fucking did, because they were going to kill some kids in that village if they didn't give up their fucking women to be raped and their children to be raped and take up arms against the Americans invading their country. Do I make the shots, the calls? Do I know who was in the right or wrong? No, but I know that there's human beings who love our country, who went over there and they came back fucked up. And my heart goes out to every single veteran or people who experiencing that, because this is not a day where men are born to be tough and rugged. A lot of people are raised to be fucking weak in this country and in this day and age, and it's sad.
I was gonna say, do you think these days
PTSD is huge?
No, but do you think these days people are grown up with a weaker mindset?
I think our entire nation, our entire world is, and technology is a big reason of that. Not that the men are any weaker.
Right.
Just our whole society is weak.
Do you think they just don't know their potential yet? Is that why?
I think a lot of people don't believe in themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't get that taught to them. Like you talked about children. Children need to have self-love taught to them. In 1 to 7, it's so important. Self-love. Like if you're hearing this and you have children, hug them and tell them they're beautiful. Force your daughter to walk into the bathroom, look in the mirror, and tell her 100 times in a row she's beautiful, and tell your son that he is good enough, that he is a good person, that he can do things that he wants. If he puts his mind, if he really tries really, really hard, he might get a little bit better today. And next week he'll be great. Like tell your children things that they need to hear so we can stop the direction we're going. I don't want to be, I've shared this a couple times with a few people. I don't know if you saw it or not, but I was held up on Olive Street when BLM left the streets or the I-5. They were walking away peacefully or whatever, direct traffic. We all stopped. I stopped, right? Fucking couple Antifa fucks come out of the woodway and start bashing cars full of Africans. I had a car full of Africans next to me with their kids looking out the window like, what's going on? All these people are they yelling Black Lives Matter it was all beat up car.
Yeah.
They peeled off going around me. It was like 4 lanes on Olive, trying to get to I-5 North. And they try to get there. This white dude comes out here with a bat, starts bashing cars. And then he turns to my car. So I do the responsible thing. I put a red dot on his head, right? Excuse me, if you're listening, please don't incriminate me. It was a self-defense because he was trying to get at me after that. He left them, came up and ran up to my car, started bashing stuff.
Were you in your car still when you did that?
Yeah, I was in my car. I accessed my firearm and prepared to defend myself.
Yeah.
And I said, listen, man, you're trying to bash my window with a fucking bat.
Yeah.
If that bat hits me, I already have multiple brain injuries, TBIs.
Yeah.
Like I hear ringing sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, it's not fun.
Is that from?
It's from injuries, getting hit in the head multiple times.
Yeah.
You know, football, military, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna sit here and die. Like this is your one warning. You're using deadly force. You have a bat. It's swinging at my fucking head.
Yeah.
Get away from me. And he walked away, and I said thank you, and I was glad. I was glad because I don't want to harm human beings. Human beings' lives matter. Everybody's life has value, and it's what you add to it is makes your life more valuable or less valuable to the rest of society.
Right.
That kid was probably just pissed off at the world, wanted to either be a part of something or just burn shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever reason, he wanted to bash in a window. Car full of Africans sitting next to me, yelling Black Lives Matter. Did their lives matter? Did that kid's hand matter? That was holding on to the window that was half rolled down because they were scared? Yes.
Damn.
Everybody's lives matter. And that child's lives matter. The kid that was trying to, beat me and my vehicle and my head with a bat. Because my windows were down.
That tried hurting you.
Yes.
Yeah.
My windows were rolled down. So he tried to get to me. Like straight up. Because I was getting to the freeway, okay? I'm getting away from whatever threat.
Yeah.
De-escalate. Leave the area. Don't attack everything that you feel like you need to attack.
Yeah.
I tried to leave the area. I got cornered.
Yeah.
He had a bat or some sharp, this metal thing. My life was in jeopardy at that point.
Yeah.
I assessed. So I put fucking beam on him. I'm like, listen, man, like I really don't want to do this. Okay, I've done enough poor things in my life. I'm trying to be a better person.
Yeah.
Fucking chill out.
Yeah.
And he left me alone, and I went on my merry way. And I went home. I got home. I, put my firearm down by my bedside. I hugged my wife and told her I loved her. And I got on my knees and I said a prayer for that kid. I'm not the best person, but I wished him well.
Right.
Even though he wished me ill.
That he understood like what he did was not right in any sort of way.
It could have, and if I get hit in the temple, I could be dead.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
I have brain injuries, like from getting hit in the head with shit. Like,
yeah.
It's not good.
Yeah.
I don't want to die.
Yeah.
What if I'm driving and I get hit in the head with something and I lose control of my vehicle and I crash into a group of protesters? Am I a white supremacist?
Ooh.
I don't want that to. I don't want to my family to be scrutinized by that.
Right.
For me crashing into a group of people because I got hit in the head and my foot's still on the gas and I just crashed into 150 people exercising their First Amendment, which I fully support, protesting.
Right.
So
I know. I did. By the way, I went to a protest.
Good for you,
Seattle.
man. I'm proud.
Shania and I went, and
Good for you.
we walked 5 fucking miles. You don't realize how far you're walking because you're just with a bunch of people. So if you ever want to do a marathon and it's 12 miles, just run with a group of people because you'll
be good.
You'll go far ways. Anyways, no, we did it just because. So I didn't want to do it only for one reason, because the whole COVID thing was still happening. Well, yeah, and I work with
and you care about human beings' life.
I work with kids.
Yeah,
and I work near kids, and I didn't want if people think it's real or not, out of respect, I did not want to bring anything close to harm to anyone else. And also because of everything when Antifa and all the other groups that aren't Black Lives Matter protesters, because like I said, what I'm trying to get to is
right in,
completely peaceful.
Yeah.
The only person that was a danger to during the Black Lives Matter protest march that I was in was the Christian dude screaming at people that Jesus is coming.
Oh man.
He was literally like getting in people's faces
every night,
screaming. That was the only danger that I experienced. And he wasn't part of the Black Lives Matter, by the way.
Dude, it's called a counter protester, and there's a way to counter protest.
Oh, people were like throwing their bikes in front of him and blocking him off and everything like that, like blocking him so that way they don't. Because how unchristian is something like that to do? I mean,
I as a Christian, as someone who believes in God, I can say this, and I know I've sinned multiple times on this podcast. I apologize in advance.
I think we're all human. Everyone's sinned.
But I will face my Maker when it's time. Only God can judge me, not you. You're a Christian. And people that are Christians, we have to walk in love, is what my grandmother says. Walk in love, and when you are trying to harm somebody else because of their views, or stop them from expressing them, which is their First Amendment God-given right in our country of the United States of America, that's not right. That's not good. It's not okay to tell somebody they can't marry or love who they want to love. None of it's okay. And we got to get away from that. If you're protesting and you're not blocking a street where someone might have to get their pregnant wife to the hospital because of having complications in their pregnancy, or she started bleeding in the middle of pregnancy, or an ambulance, or a first responder responding to an incident at my house, because first responders responded to an incident at my house just last week, where my wife was under a threat of somebody else. So it's important not to block roads, in my opinion.
Damn.
But at the same time, who am I to judge your First Amendment right as long as it doesn't impede someone else's?
Right.
But where do we draw the line?
Yeah, that makes...
Is blocking a freeway when I have to get to my sister who's in Eastern Washington going to school, and there's a wildfire and she needs help packing up all her shit and the freeway's blocked and I can't fucking get to her? Is that helping? I don't know. To me, no. To them, maybe. To their cause.
Right.
To getting people vocal, yes. And I'm not going to sit there and tell them they're wrong, but
right.
I'm not here. I'm not perfect. I'm not a good person per se. I try to be, but I'm not going to judge somebody else how they act. But what I will say is, take action against someone in their vehicle. It's not a good thing.
Right.
What if you get knocked the fuck out? What if you get harmed or you get blinded and you keep stepping on the gas because you panic and you drive into a group of people on the street or off the street because you got attacked while driving a vehicle? Right. I've tried to step on the brake before and I stepped on the gas and I got in a car collision. Thankfully, I only went 1 mile an hour. But still.
But yeah, it happens.
It could have happened, and that's what I was terrified of. I went home and I freaking freaked out. Yeah. Because simple mistakes can hurt people. Yeah. I think we can all get past that by just talking and caring about people, man.
I think if there's anything I summed up from this whole podcast, because I do want to wrap it up. We've been talking for like 3 hours.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, time flies.
We can talk forever. And, of course, Eddie, I'd love to have you back on.
We should do it drunk next time.
Yeah, dude. I'll have some drinks for sure. I'll have those Jell-O shot things that are sold at Costco. Oh. It's like wine. mixed with like other stuff, but it's 12% alcohol per Jello shot. So we could line up like 5 of those things.
We could do it all at
Yeah.
once. Just all of them.
That'd be a fun conversation.
Out.
But if there's anything I learned, because I do want to talk about this real quick, and also if you guys are still listening, thank you so much, and I want to know what you've learned as well. But the main thing that I learned from this, the main thing, I can name a whole bunch of things, but pretty much what it's narrowed down to is I'm trying to find a better way to say this. It's not so corny.
Well, dude, speak from your heart, brother.
I feel like if we all just do our part and be a decent human being and give love a chance, it doesn't mean like to your spouse or to whatever, but love is bigger than that. That's why people don't understand these days is how what love isn't just, oh, I love my girlfriend, or I love my parents, I love my daughter, I love my son, whatever. It's a bigger spectrum than that. But anyways, what I found out from this whole thing, or what I came to a conclusion with, is the more love we have for ourselves, the more love we can give to others.
Yes.
And the more love can be spread, which can bring it could reduce the huge amount of whatever's
Hatred.
going on in life. The racism, the homelessness,
Yeah.
the hatred,
Yeah.
the bad people, all the other things. If we just find a way to find love within ourselves, even leading back to your dad, right?
Yeah, man.
If we all would have found love at an earlier age, or even now currently, some things just wouldn't happen how they end. As in the feeling, and some actions wouldn't be taken.
Yeah.
Do you think people would be marching the streets if maybe everyone on the police force had a source of either love or which would, of course, love for their job, so they would educate themselves and get into further learning about how to de-escalate a problem, all that stuff. So love in general. Do you think people would be marching the streets? Do you think all these other things would have happened? You know what I mean?
I don't think that anything can't be solved with love.
For sure.
Except truly evil acts, and that's why there's people, and the Bible talks about archangels. There's people who will put their hand in the fire to keep others' hands dirty. I am a big believer in acts of heroism, of random acts of kindness, and I'm thankful for the acts of people who are much braver than me, who will bring death to people who will and are harming many other people who just need to be removed. I don't have the proper thought process or decisiveness to decide who needs to live and who dies. And I don't think anybody else does in this country.
I don't think so either.
I think that we really need to look at who we have as our leaders. And I think it's time for the good cops to do as the cops did in our city and denounce the actions of police brutality when it happens.
Hold accountable.
Hold people accountable. If you're a good cop and you're with your bad partner and he's acting up, he's getting a little pissed off. Hey, partner, why don't you chill out? Let me take over.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen in real life. It's important that happens.
Very
When you're in a leadership role, you can very easily be poisoned by ego and all these things. So
you are who you hang around.
We got to be careful.
That is the biggest thing. People think, no. Well, that's because you're in that mindset of the people you're around.
Yeah, it's because the people around you are the bad ones, bum. Yeah, man.
Shit. But this was fun, dude. I definitely want to do it again. And where can they find you, man? I mean, I know it's already late, but I'll probably put this in the title.
Yeah, dude. They can find me on Instagram at This Is Eddie Lowery, EDDIE. Last name is LOWERY.
Got it.
I'll probably be tagged in this thing. And then on Facebook at Eddie Lowery. If you have any questions about anything or just want to bullshit and talk, or if you want to educate me about something, because I may be wrong about a lot of my ideals, please do. I'm a humble learner. I'd love to learn.
Yeah.
Unless you're a pedophile, you can go fuck yourself.
Exactly.
Just got to put that in there.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But Thank you so much, man.
Thanks for having me.
I think we should also off air, sometime go grab some dinners, and hang out, Of course, we don't have to do it all the time, but I mean, we've been friends for so long. Might as well just catch up.
We might as well just give in.
Might as well.
Yeah, dude.
All right, man. Well, thank you for coming by, and we will talk to you guys later. Peace out.